I'm Reslar.
I'm Frosty.
As nobody's really engaged quite yet.
Yep. Oh, there we have a bit of. Oh, is that a triple stun for the Mystic?
And welcome back to the Value Pack. And welcome everybody to another episode of the Value Pack. We're going old school, baby. It's just me and Frosty here. The Maywa is not going to be here, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on your outlook on things. There's really not too much stuff to talk about. We're basically just going to be talking about shit that's coming next week because that patch is going to be hype as fuck. But before we get into that, I want to thank our lovely patrons. Badriana, Infrax, Hawaiian, Auscultation, Icarian, Justicar, I Has Issues, Jeremy Johnson, Calahad, Lord Carrot, Manite, Minaria, Ponism, Slytech, and Talus X Septum. Thank you guys so much for your support, and everybody else who supports us on Patreon. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. You guys are fucking awesome. Let's get into the quote-unquote news, which, unfortunately, as far as this week goes, there's not a lot of it. Phone! I'm trying to be successful! Jesus Christ, I swear.
Is that the pizza guy?
It is not the pizza guy, but I do have to order pizza soon.
He's, hey, I was watching the show and I heard you were gonna order pizza.
You're ordering for you, bro. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So basically, we're just talking about what's coming next week and what's coming later on in the future because Global Labs, right? So
yeah,
what's coming out? What hit us for those who are not in the loop on the partner Discord leaks that happen literally every single week, and I'm confused as to why they just keep doing it through the partner Discord and not just announcing it outright. Why don't you tell everybody what's hitting our server next week? Live server, NA server, EU server.
Yeah. So the biggest news that Tim Allen is back to streaming full time. After his I'm kidding. We're getting everything that we've been waiting for. Because Shadowlands is coming out on the 23rd. So they thought, let's time this out. I think Shadowlands, it's the 23rd, right? Shadowlands? Yeah, so this is the only patch before Shadowlands where they could release content. Because if they waited till after Shadowlands, everyone would have already canceled their Value Pack subscriptions and switched over to World of Warcraft. So there it is, dude. We're getting the tag system, the bond skills, the Rabams skills, and maybe even Siren Karanda, because I think KR got it last week. So maybe we'll get it, but they didn't mention that. But there's a chance. I think we got the widened expansion of it, right? This week for no reason. Whatever.
I honestly have no idea.
No one's really excited for that. But yeah, so we're getting the bond skill. It's kind of like, as far as PvP goes, the biggest changes at one time since Succession, I think. While the Rabams aren't super huge, the bonds kind of are. Yeah, Rabams may affect a couple classes in a major way, but a lot of them are kind of lackluster. But the bond skills are pretty major and huge for a lot of classes. So I think the meta in Node Wars is going to be mostly unaffected because Succession Wizard. But I think there's going to be a lot of classes that become a lot more scary in this patch. So I'm going to give some examples, and then if you have any that you are worried about or excited about, Reslar, please let me. Actually, let's start. Are there any you're worried about or excited about with this patch as far as the bond skills go?
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to think. Now I'm trying to remember what all the bond skills were. All their bombs.
So
the thing is for Zerker and Archer, their bombs are kind of meh. Mm-hmm. It seems to me. As far as bond skills, that's pretty hype. For Zerker, probably gonna see people taking ground lifting, most likely, which would be really good for them and help them in large scale. But I mean, everyone's playing Succession Berserker anyway, so I don't know. And Archer. Briz is reading at me a couple minutes ago about Radiant, so apparently people are going to take Radiant I'll try it out, but probably be taking Uproot. So, but neither of those are going to be insane. I don't know. Warrior Solar Flare seems balanced.
Yeah.
So,
dude, the irony that all these Zerkers are playing Succession is actually so funny to me. Just because like they all hated it. I don't even know if they like it now, but they are all playing it. It's like kind of funny. And it actually is such a different, at least in the smaller wars, maybe it's not as huge in Siege because the 200% is melee and it's like with enough Whiz Witch, it's kind of hard to get close enough, but I don't know. In Node Wars, man, like it can completely change a fight having a Zerker there with 200%.
oh yeah. So we were actually talking about that after the war Friday, because we were fighting First Light in a 1v1, and they had like 2 Zerkers, but one of which was they were feeding all their rage to and trying to get 200% off. And the thing is that we have our own Zerker that we feed rage to for 200%, and so we know to like look out for that shit. So we're actually like pretty good at like calling it out whenever we see a Zerker pop an E buff, like kind of off to the side by their lonesome. We're like, Zerker's about to die. Zerker's about to like it's like its own separate call. We're like, Zerker's about to die. Zerker's ulting V. Like we actually make our calls and play around it. But then people don't do the same for us. And then Souse, who is our Zerker, his name is Onion Goes Burr because he has that stupid fucking Halloween outfit that makes him look like a goddamn onion.
Wait,
and then
Souse
he goes
is a Zerker now? Oh my god, that guy.
Yeah, and he goes in with his 200% and gets 10 kills because people don't pay attention to it and call it out. So it's pretty insane what Zerker can do if you're not like paying attention to it and calling it out and focusing it down.
Yeah, definitely.
Succession Zerker,
crazy.
that is. Awakened Zerker at this point is basically a meme unless, like you said, you're in Siege.
I still think Awakened Zerker's good in Node Wars because Q buff. I mean, it depends how many people, but Q buff still makes a big difference in fights. And
it does,
and when
but
they have
200% makes more of a difference.
Yeah,
that's kind of the issue. It's like, yeah, Q buff is still really strong, but 200% is stronger, and arguably, if you have enough people actually dedicating their rage to your Zerker, you can fucking 200% more often than you can fucking Q buff.
True, for sure. But it's hard if you have more than one Zerker. It's hard to get them both 200% consistently.
Oh yeah. You really only have one like dedicated like Zerker basically.
Yeah, you got one big guy. We have a guy. I think he has either my gear score or a little bit more, and he's the one that everyone's feeding. So it's actually scary as fuck when he's hitting people. We had a duo ult the other day against Crawling Chaos, who destroyed us. By the way, we're not a Node War guild. We're bad, but dude, it was actually like the timing was sick because it wasn't coordinated at all. I was just like, I knew that our ball was about to push, so I try to. Kuno ult like no longer kills people unless they just completely have no gear, but it can CC like an entire group. So I like dive into CC and like all of these people get CC'd, and the dude is literally just Roomba vacuuming through them, like making them disappear off the screen with his 200% while they're all stiffened. It was so funny. Yeah, shit's busted.
Which, like, again, like, I'm not saying Q buff isn't useful, but Q buff doesn't do that.
It doesn't do that,
kind of
right?
like the thing.
It just depends how many you have, because I do think like if you have a couple Zerkers, you're better off, at least as a guild, you're better off with the other Zerkers being Awakening and like having one, maybe two,
Probably.
if it's a large enough war, two dedicated to 200%.
Yeah, if you're doing like a 30-man, let's say you have like 2 Zerkers, you're probably best off having one be Succession to feed the Rage to, and one being Awakening that can Q buff like whenever the 200 goes in, TBH. And then you just kind of multiply that with the amount of people, I would think, with a little bit more heavy into the Awakening than the Succession. So if you're doing 100-man, you maybe have 5 Zerkers. Maybe 2 of them are Succession, and then you're feeding them your Rage, and then 3 of them are Awakening.
I was going to say, it's funny because I tried to, basically every guild that we fought, the last like 3 wars, has at least one Zerker that's doing it. and I tried to block jump grab. Dude, like, I cannot get close enough. I die so fast. It's like fighting a boss. It's like,
Yeah.
or like, you remember when we would see, like, all the hacker zerkers that are literally just killing things around them, and you, like, try to get in and fail over and over again, you just die? Like, that's how it feels. Just like, dude.
Yeah, that's why, like, we used to say, like, someone grab him, like, maybe a month or two ago, we used to be like, somebody grab him, somebody grab him. Now the call is just fucking V out, V out, V.
Yeah, the other thing too is because they're not always, but they're almost always E-buff during it, and which means they have a ton of resist. So it's kind of a suicide mission to try to grab them. Anyway, back to bond skills. So I want to remind you and everyone out there of some of the scary ones that are coming. So one is Spiral Cannon on Striker is going to be super armor. So it's going to be a super armor movement skill with a knockdown on Wednesday that also does pretty decent damage, makes their entire combo protected. Like their entire basic bitch combo is now going to be fully protected from start to finish, and have a CC. It'll be like the grab, the re-CC, and a down smash potentially with leg drop finisher. That shit's scary, dude. Plus the cooldown is super low. I believe if it's the same as Spiral Torpedo, I believe it's 5 seconds. It might be 6 or 7, I don't know. But it's low. So that one scares me. Especially because right now, at least in 1v1, Striker's already really, really good in 1v1s. And that just makes them a million times more scary. The other one is ninjas with Katana Shower or Serpent Ascension. Maybe Murderous Intent. I don't know. I feel like I overvalued Murder. I have to see how it works when it actually comes. Because I don't know for sure if it's super armor during stance shift and regular. But if it's not, then yeah, probably Katana and Serpent. Those both are really scary. And then the one I fear most is Cleansing Flame, which is Shift F on Guardian, which is a massive, massive, massive range super armor ability that is now going to have a float. And if anyone knows like the Guardian's main combo right now, they grab you, they put the lava pool on the ground right in front of you, and then they do the 2 uppercut slashes to refloat you before they hit you with the hard hitting skills. And when that happens, that float currently does like no damage. Like it does a tiny bit of damage. They're only really using it to get the re-CC because the bound got removed from their other ability a few months ago. Cleansing Flame is now going to refloat you, and it does a lot of damage, and it has I believe it has air attack modifier too. So that thing is just going to, like, a lot of people are going to die right at that point at the refloat now. That shit's kind of scary to me. So yeah, that one I fear, and the range on it is massive. I mean, it is further than Grim Reaper's Judgment, just for reference. And then the other one, also it's a 7-second cooldown. So every 7 seconds, they're basically going to be hitting you with Guardian's version of Meteor. The Sork ones are kind of somewhat scary. I think people, I don't know what happened where people kind of don't really care that much about Sork and how strong they are, but 2 of the scary ones for them, at least to me, are Turnback Slash and Grim Reaper's Judgment. Right now, Grim Reaper's Judgment, I feel like a lot of people catch Sorks in Grim Reaper, so that being fully protected, especially in Node Wars, is going to be scary. Like, if anyone knows who Floppy is, super, super good duelist Sork. Almost all of his Grim Reaper Judgments right now are baits, just because the risk of getting CC'd when you let it go is too high. Like, now he actually is going to be able to hit you with it, potentially CC you, but at the very least just do damage. So that one's also kind of scary. Yeah, those are probably the biggest ones. I'm sure there's some sleeper ones. Like, Mystic Spiral also is really, really good. It's just, I still don't know how many people are going to play Awakened Mystic just because their damage is so low. They're probably going to play Suck. Kuno ones, I want to say they're pretty good, but I don't think it's not enough to make anyone that loves Suck Kuno swap off of Suck Kuno. And then, I don't know. Are there any other major ones? I guess ground lift. What's the cooldown on ground lifting?
3, 5?
Is
Something like
is
that?
it really that low? So basically, they'd have like
Pretty
a.
low.
Can you use lava piercer ground lifting, like as an
Yeah,
engage?
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
That's what you'll
That's pretty
normally like. That's what you'll often see people do, like in large scale. Whenever you're trying to get like a flank off on people, you'll lava piercer kind of like behind them or to the side of them, ground lifting into ancient wave. Because if you have your like attack speed buff and your 5 attack speed, you're moving pretty quick. That's a pretty fast animation. Still get CC'd out of it quite frequently, but it's pretty fast animation overall.
Yeah. What? How fast is it if you don't use it? Is it like a cancel, or is just the animation of the skills just fast by default?
No, there's no cancel. Just it's pretty quick if you have all your attack speed. You know, you have your attack speed buff. You have your Alk Stone. It's just overall, it's pretty quick.
Okay. Are people going to be using it? I mean, I don't know. It seems that one seems good, and it has a decent AOE size, right? Like it's like a cone in front of you a little bit.
The real issue with Berserker Bonds is that there's just nothing that's really better. Like Slugfest is kind of trash. Unless the only way Slugfest I could see being good is if it CCs at any point in the ability. Like maybe then. What else was there? Titan Blow, garbage.
So
Doesn't apply to Ancient Wave. So
with Titan Blow, the actual skill. Wait, that's the one where they're punching, right?
No, Titan Blow is the one where they charge up the big hits, and then they do those 3 big hits in front of them.
Okay, it's not. What is the one where they punch the air right in front of them?
That's Slugfest.
Okay, that's Slugfest. Yeah, does Slugfest just not do damage? Is that why it's not good?
Yeah, it doesn't do too much damage, and also it's the fact that it's such a long animation, right? It doesn't apply. It's not like Devastation where it's like it applies slows, and it does pretty decent damage. Like the damage is meh. You're locked into the animation. Actually, I think you can cancel out of it, but I don't know. Just nobody uses it because it's just kind of trash.
What about Devastation?
So I think what they changed on Devastation is now it's CCs, but at least whenever the bonds first came to Global Labs, I was told that it's only on the first hit, which makes it garbage.
Yeah, which is probably what it is. And the flow doesn't do it. Am I right? I think.
Correct. The flow, which is kind of the big issue, and I understand why they kind of had to do that, but like, if you could listen. I know I'm about to say something that people are gonna have a real fucking issue with, but if you could have just put the like perma frontal guard that I think is on Titan Blow on Ancient Wave, every Awakened Zerker probably would have taken that and been so fucking happy. But it's the fact that it's on Titan Blow, which is a garbage ability, and it doesn't apply to the BSR version either, by the way.
Riz said he came over here because you're triggering him, and he says Titan is stiffen KD with frontal guard that is usable in PvP.
I mean, yeah, but if you,
I thought Titan
you don't hit that stiffen, and it's so choreographed too, like it's so easy to dodge. If you miss that first stiffen, then you're just fucked. Because
can you cancel out of Titan's Blow, or are you stuck in the whole thing?
You can, but the thing is that that's just a very easy CC for, like, I don't know, fucking any class.
Yeah. Alright. I'm trying to think of some of the other classes that may be, like, sleeper OP. On Kuno, I feel like the one that I think will be ideal is Wheel Wrath. Even though I know, like, Delighted sounds crazy. I have to test, like, when the essay starts and ends. On Global Lab, for me, it's so inconsistent because the ping is so fucking bad. But I don't know. I think Wheel Wrath, just at least in my mind, if I'm engaging someone from concealment and I get Shadow Stomp off, one of the hardest things is like now because of the spin spree nerf a few months back, you just don't do enough damage by going Shadow Stomp spin like you used to back in the day. So if I can go Shadow Stomp, get Wheel Wrath with air attack, and then spin, like actually makes it powerful. So that one I think is kind of good, and they're giving it frontal guard. But outside of that, I don't know. It's like so much of the filler damage is so bad on Awakening Kuno. Like outside of Wheel Wrath, like the damage, I don't know, you have to do such a long combo to kill people. I'm trying to think. What other classes have some good ones?
Also, Briz is just mad because I don't think Radiant Bound is super good.
Yeah. He's just so now he's just being a baby.
he's what's the word I'm looking for? He's
oh
he's
yeah,
protesting.
warrior. Dude, wait. What's the is it not pulver? What's the warrior skill that's just like the paddle slap that's getting frontal guard?
Armor break.
Yeah. Is it armor break? That's
If you're the paddle slap,
well,
yeah, that's armor break.
the bond one. That I think it's a float, right? Is it a float or maybe it's a stiffen? No, I think it. What is that one? No, I think it's. I have to switch.
What are you
Hold
talking? I am so lost now.
It's like a quick. It's the one that they're all actually gonna take, even though Solar Flare is the one noobs are gonna take. This skill is the one that actual good warriors are gonna take. Hold on, let me find it. I'm switching to my warrior for science. Hold on. I think all of the warriors.
Are you talking about ankle break?
Maybe.
What? Describe the animation to me.
I did my best at that. All right, I'm moving on. I did my best at describing animation.
If it's paddle slap, then it's armor break.
It's
I'm pretty sure. I haven't played Warrior in a while, but I'm pretty confident that's armor break.
No, what is the skill? What is that? Is it Frenzied Strike? No, it's not Frenzied Strike. There's one that's getting now I don't remember. Is it Balance Strike? Oh, I think it is Balance Strike. Wait, did Balance Strike used to be one you could level up?
Balance Strike? No, I don't think so.
I don't know. It's a
I think that's you just put 1 point into it, and then that's the shoulder charge though.
Yeah, now I have to pull up the KR patch. All right. Now we're digging deep. I don't know. They're getting forward guard on one of them, and that it's like a really, really fast animation. This is the problem, dude. Maybe I should play warrior. I need to reroll. It's time. It's time I play warrior. Also, the warrior grinding is still so insane. I've been like stuck on because the tag system is coming as well, so I've just been stuck on like trying to decide what to play, and I'm like running through watching all these grinding videos, and I'm just like. All of the ones that I actually want to play are still not that great at grinding, and all the ones I really don't want to play are insanely good at grinding. It's killing me, dude. Oh my
I actually recently had a very stupid idea while you're looking for that. I recently thought of just getting completely, instead of tagging my Zerker, just getting completely different gear for him. Just specifically for PvE. Since that's really, I mean, like, I don't know, Zerker PvP right now is, like, fine. Like, Succession. Like, I've kind of learned how to do it. But it's still just, like, I'd rather just PvP on Archer. So, like, in my head, I'm, like, trying to do this weird thing where I'm trying to, like, do this hybrid, like, build so that I can just tag and make it really easy for myself. But the other day, I was like, maybe I should just get like a fucking like a PvE set of gear, so I don't even have to tag my Zerker, and then I could tag another class that I actually want to PvP on, with like PvP gear.
Yeah.
Of course, that is a fuckload of money, and that's a fuckload of money that I don't make right now. But
I'm worried about. Well, my issue with the tag thing is that. I have an upgrade coming soon in the next month or so, and it's going to be left out of my tag, which kind of sucks.
You could just hold off on tagging.
Yeah, I could. Oh, Balance Strike. That's it. Balance Strike is getting frontal guard, and it's a stiffness, and it's super quick. Yeah, it's the shoulder thing. I misdescribed it as...
It's on like a 7-second cooldown, I think, or something like that.
3-second cooldown. That's why I think it's going to be...
I thought it was longer than that.
No, it's a 3-second cooldown. That's going to be frontal guard stiff. That's like really fast and juts you forward. So like if you use it with...
It's basically murderous intent.
It kind of is. It's murderous intent with like smaller AoE, but like, you know, these warriors, they know what's up, dude. I don't know. That one is actually scary to me. Yeah, warrior's gonna be nuts. And then I know a lot of warriors are...
Actually, you know what it is? You know what it is? I just realized it's Dragon Bite.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. If they can position themselves too to get around frontal guard, it's literally Dragon Bite. Yeah, you're not wrong. Did it used to have frontal guard back in the day? Is that what? Oh, I guess it didn't matter because the lingering SA. It just always had protection no matter what.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that one's kind of scary, dude. Also, the sleeper one for like 1v1. I know everyone already knows that Tamer's pretty goddamn good in 1v1, but with Moonlight Strike becoming a stiffness and Legendary Beast Dance becoming a super armor, like those cooldowns are 4 seconds and 3 seconds, and Legendary Beast Dance is like one that like slowly moves you forward, but is a pretty big AoE. Well, big relative to Tamer's size. It's actually small relative to every other class's AoEs, but yeah, on a 3 second super armor skill that kind of like moves you forward is going to be pretty scary. I don't know. So you're definitely tagging Zerker, I assume, right? Or is it time to go back to the warrior days?
Like I said, unless I end up doing that whole like separate set of gear thing, which I have been considering. Mostly, I'm not gonna lie, mostly because I just don't like getting like Black Star for my archer, because I'm like, it's really gonna hurt me down the road whenever I want like to make like half-risk upgrades and stuff like that, right? It's like, I don't know. So unless I end up doing that separate set of gear, yeah, I'm gonna be tagging my my Zerker.
Yeah, dude, if this was coming out a year ago though, you would have been tagging Warrior and Zerker.
Probably not. I've been playing Archer for a while now, man.
Has it been a year though?
Since the first time I played Archer? Yeah, probably. Remember, this isn't the first time I've re-rolled Archer. I used to play Archer before.
No, I know.
Then I went back to Zerker, and then now I'm on Archer again.
Just trying to think if that was already a whole year ago.
I think it was.
I don't think you were playing Archer around Black Friday, dude. I would have remembered.
Also, I definitely wouldn't have picked Warrior, because I would have done either like Witch or Wizard.
Oh. Yeah, dude, you would have put Bound on Bolide and played Awakening Wizard.
Dude, I actually am kind of hype about that. Like that, see, here's the thing. Here's the other part of the equation about me tagging my Zerker specifically for PvE. I want to PvP on Wizard again.
Yeah.
Like Awakening Wizard. Because that Bound on Bolide, like, I'm actually kind of hype about it.
Yeah,
like, I know that's probably going to end up being, like, the noob choice or whatever. Like, Wizards are going to be like, oh, don't take Bolide Bound. It's not good. Take this one instead. But, like, dude, I just want to go back to the old days of, like, just hard diving in, Bolide Cataclysm, just, like, clapping kids, huge AoEs, completely super armor. Like, those were the days, man. So, like, I'm kind of hype about that.
Yeah. I mean, Bolide's hard to avoid in a group fight, too. Especially with people that have skill effects off.
Yeah.
Bolide's, that one's hard to dodge, and the AoE on it is huge. So it's definitely going to be bounding some people. I don't know.
Like, the thing is, like, with me and Warrior, because, like, Adri recently was telling me that I should try and play Warrior again as well. Like, a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. And it's like, the thing is like, the Warrior that I played is gone now. I never touched Warrior after the CC changes and the Lingering Super Armor was removed. And it's not because the Lingering Super Armor was removed that I stopped playing it. I had re-rolled just before those changes happened to Wizard. And then I was laughing my ass off when they removed the Lingering Super Armor because all the Warriors were complaining. And I was like, haha, dodged a bullet. But now it's like, it would be like learning an entirely new class almost. So, I don't know, I'm kind of like,
It's definitely completely different now, especially with the way block cancels even more stuff than it used to.
Yeah.
Frenzied Strikes wasn't a thing when you played Warrior. Just kind of, that's that shift Q where they just slash a few times.
And now everyone and their grandmother uses counter, apparently, which was like a meme skill whenever I played. Like back in the day. Like, nobody used counter, but apparently it's, like, really strong and people use it all the time now. So, I don't know. It's like it really would be like learning a whole new class, and I just don't know if I'm down for that. Especially for another melee class that's like going to be like kind of in Nodors. Like I'd rather just like play fucking like wizard or even witch, honestly, and just be super brainless, fucking easy mode, just clapping kids in large scale, and then swapping to archer for the 1v1s.
What about Tamer? What do you think I should tag?
What do I think you should tag? I think you should tag probably either Sork or Mystic.
Why?
Because I think Kuno PvE leaves something to be desired. And Mystic and Sork are both classes that you enjoy, both PvE and PvP. And the PvE far surpasses the capabilities of Kuno PvE, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically true for 17 of the 19 classes, right?
So, like, it would be really good for your PvE and help you make a lot more money, as well as giving you another class to PvP on that you enjoy PvPing on.
Yeah, I just think, I mean, I want to be excited about Mystic PvP because Spiral's so good, but I need the damage to be better. It's so bad.
The other thing to keep in mind is that, like, maybe not so much with Mystic Succession and Awakening, not to the same extent, but like Sork, Awakening, and Succession are two like very different playstyles from what I've been told by Sorks. So it would kind of if you did Sork, maybe not as much Mystic, but if you did end up doing Sork, it would almost be like you would have the ability to play two different classes with that one class, because you could play Suck, you could play Awakening, and they're both quite a bit differently. Even though to me it looks like you're just iframing around on both of them.
Yeah. Dude, it's so weird because like my main motivation forever is like grind. But dude, I really want to try Tamer with the bond skills so badly. I miss playing Tamer, dude. That was my first true love. My first true love.
As long
class.
as you don't play Succession.
Yeah, that's my problem though. Like you said, the whole two classes thing would suck. Is like Tamer Succession is just god awful to me. I cannot stand the playstyle or the look or any of it. So it's like, I don't know. It's kind of it feels more limiting. Like I definitely want to play a class that I can play both Suck and Awakening, and Tamer is definitely not. The Suck needs to be completely redesigned on that class. Succession's so dumb. Wait,
I think the whole class just needs to be the dog, dude.
I feel like for the sake of the podcast, we should each have to choose each other's tag, and they have to go with it.
Oh God, no!
Come on.
I recently had a bit of a baby rage moment, I guess you would call it, on stream a while back during a King of the Hill that we were doing in Guild. Because I realized that Suck Tamer has a no cooldown AoE 3-second stiffen that is larger than Voltaic. That stiffens at any point in the like 2-second, 3-second animation that it has. What in the Sam fucking hell?
Yeah. Wait, can you still hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
I guess the show goes on, even though I got disconnected from BDO and from the stream.
What?
That's so weird, right?
You got disconnected from stream.
Yeah, maybe it's back up now. But yeah, it like lagged out for a second. I should be back now. Should be back. Everyone has to refresh, unfortunately. Anyway, I don't know. I really like the idea of picking for you.
Well, good news. If you watch the stream, I have a channel point option where you can make me reroll for an entire week. So
how's that work?
It's not loading. It's not loading for me. What do you mean? How's that work?
Yeah, how's it work?
But you watch the stream, you get points, and then
I know, but how are you gonna reroll? You're just gonna buy all new weapons?
Nah, I'm gonna just do Oasis weapons with my gear and my.
It's not a reroll.
Well, actually,
dude.
when the tag system comes out, I could probably do that if it's not too expensive. If it's like super expensive, then fuck that shit. But if it's not that expensive because I'm a bit of a gearlet, then I could do that. Okay, yeah, your stream's back up for me.
Okay. Well, let me use the restroom real quick while
Everybody's getting back in.
Oh, everyone's coming back in. But the Oasis thing feels like a cheap cop out, dude. Come on, that's not a reroll.
Well, there was no other way to do it. Also, it's only for a week. So, but now with the tax system coming out, I might be able to do that. Actually, if it's not too expensive. I fucking hate that you cheer for Cagdom rings. Fuck my life. What about the recording? The recording should be fine. The recording should still be fine. It's just apparently his stream and BDO disconnected, but not Discord. Which is pretty weird, champ. I don't know what happened there. But his stream is apparently back on, and
yeah, I'm back.
he's
Sorry.
just waiting for everybody. He's just waiting for everybody to get back in, having to refresh the page and all that stuff. So explain to me, like, because I really did have a bit of a bit of an aneurysm whenever I learned that shit has no cooldown. Roaring on Succession Tamer.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is that ability? Can you help me understand why that fucking class, which is already one of, if not the best 1v1 class in the game, like, needs a skill that has a 2 to 3 second animation, no cooldown, stiffen at any point in the skill, huge AoE, probably bigger than Voltaic. What is up with that? What the fuck?
I've talked to Tamers about this, and I understand why, in the current state of Tamer, why the skill has to, like, it can't be nerfed unless it's replaced with something, because the class's kit is missing so much. So they don't have an S block. They don't have, like, a super armor rotation. Like, that's literally their rotation. To stay protected, they have to stay inside their trap because of the way Suck Tamer is set up. But every Tamer on Earth, I mean, there's probably some cheeseball Tamers that don't agree with this, but most Tamers, like any of the good ones that actually respect and like the idea of the class and how it works, can't stand that that's the skill that it has to rely on because it's not fun. I mean, the playstyle is literally built around running away and setting traps over and over again, which already was a little bit of a problem on Awakening, but a lot of a problem on Suck. So I don't know. It's like I keep saying, like, I really think that Succession Tamer just needs to be redesigned. Like, some of the skills can stay the same. Like, probably, like, Bolt Jolt is cool. But I feel like they didn't go far enough, like, redesigning some of the skills and making the kit feel like a full kit. I don't know. It just feels really empty. Like they lean too heavily on Roaring being super busted. Yeah, you know how, like, I don't know, some Successions just feel like they don't have a lot of abilities. I think Warrior Suck is one of these too. Like, doesn't it? It just feels so like there's not a lot of stuff in it. But at least with Warrior's kit, it has everything that you need to at least like be a class. I feel like Tamer is just missing that in Suck. I don't know. It's just a weird. Yeah, I don't like it. Most people don't like it. Like, most Tamers you see are, like, most good Tamers you see, or Tamers that actually, like, go to BA and stuff are generally Awakening. It's, you know, I don't know. That whole class needs to be redesigned. I think removing the stiffness and just making that, like, a super armor AoE damage dealing ability would have been something that could be fun. And then, like, change, I don't know, some of the other skills. But yeah, I don't know. That it's awful.
To me, it's just the fact that like there was one fight where I actually was like, every time he used Roaring or like Void Lightning, which obviously has a bit of a cooldown onto it, but still, it's like I would be like, well, can't fight there, and I would just run, just to like really like exemplify the fact that like. I now that I have to leave. Like, I can't fight here. I have to leave now because they casted Roaring.
Yeah.
Because if I try and fight here, if I grab them, if I do anything, literally anything that is not super armor, I'm gonna get CC'd because it also CC's behind you, so you can't do frontal guard moves. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I have a when I was grinding for the Mansion Pot piece. and I was on Arsha all the time, for whatever reason, there's tamers there. Anytime I ran into a succession tamer, that was like, all right, I'd apologize to the stream because normally I'm like trying to like PvP and make it like a good, interesting fight. But I was like, this is a succession tamer. My rule is when I see suck tamers is I'm going to ult them 100% of the time. I'm literally just going to e-buff and ult every time I see this tamer, run around, kill mobs to get my ult again, and then e-buff and ult. Because the only way I could do like a safe combo and kill them. Otherwise, it's going to be like a 25-minute fight of me trying to like get a CC on them when they're not in their trap, which is just awful. So yeah, no, suck tamers are the worst. There was a my friend made a meme about it, but there was, have you ever seen that movie The Other Guys?
Yeah.
There was this tamer. We're like running around in a node war. We find the enemy's flag, and this tamer is protecting the flag. It's succession tamer, and they're casting roaring and void lightning, and roaring and void lightning, and roaring and void lightning, and just on top of the flag. And I had already tried to go in, and the tamer got my V, and I was just like, fuck, like what am I gonna do? Like, we got to get this flag down. And my guild is stuck defending at base, and then another friend of mine who plays Kuno, he walks up and he's like, hey Frosty, you thinking what I'm thinking? And like legit I'm thinking like, yeah, we got to get a ranged class over here to like poke him out so we can like dive the flag. And that's what I was actually thinking, but I was like, I think so. And then he just dives in. And I was like, no. And he gets CC'd immediately. And then the tamer starts comboing him. And I think, okay, maybe now that the tamer's not casting this trap, I could dive in and combo him like while he's killing this guy. I dive in. The trap was still up, dude. Gets me too. He kills us both. I was so pissed. So the reason why that my friend made, I was like memeing about it. And I was like, dude, this reminds me of that first scene in The Other Guys when Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Samuel L. Jackson are on the top of the roof, and they look at each other like, hey, you thinking what I'm thinking? The Rock's like, yeah, aim for the bushes. And they like jump off, and it's like all slow motion, that Foo Fighters, there goes my hero. And they just hit the cement and die immediately. And like, if you actually look at that clip or that scene, there's no bushes anywhere on the street at all. That shit is so funny, dude. But anyway. Yeah, I hate tamers. That's the moral of that story. Tamers are the worst. And but I do like Awakened Tamer. And I think Awakened Tamer, the reason why I really want to try Awakened Tamer with the bond skills is because when I played Tamer back in the day, Tamer was like hyper aggressive. Like you would get people to run out of stamina because Tamer could be so like every 4 seconds you're chasing after them with Moonlight Dash. You had a CC, you had a stiffen on it. You also like could constantly like move forward with Vermilion Bird, like all these like aggressive options. They kind of like went away with the CC changes, and now it's bringing some of it back with the bond skill. So I don't know. Kind of want to try.
My question is though, like you said, like you can't really nerf it. Can you not just slap like at least a fucking like 3-second cooldown on that thing?
I mean, I think it needs to be changed, honestly. I think like, it just needs to not be stiffened. Would that
absolutely kill Succession Tamer if you just slapped a 3-second cooldown on it?
Would 3-second change? The CC lasts for longer than that, so it'd have to be longer than 3 seconds.
But not really, because, like, here's the thing. I don't mind having to move out of the area that you cast the trap in, as long as you can't then, the second I try to re-engage like out of that area, recast to make a new area that I have to then again leave.
Yeah.
Right? So like the second they cast Roaring, I can get out, and then if they follow me out of that, then I can CC them and try and get a combo down on them, right? Like within that span while the Roaring is still going. Because if they cast it again, then it just damages, it doesn't CC, it's not a problem. Yeah. Whereas like if the skill has to end before they can cast it again and have it CC, I feel like that means that you can try to force them to come out of it, basically, and then try and get a CC there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
like,
maybe.
It would still be really strong, for sure. Like, the fact that it's a 3-second, like, giant AoE CC you at any point in the skill ability. Yeah. But I feel like at least then there's a fucking chance.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think if they did it, they'd have to make the cooldown even longer than that. But yeah, something needs to happen. I still wish that class got redesigned so it was powerful, but powerful in a different way that's not frustrating for both the person playing it and the person playing against it. Dude, one of the other things about roaring, so Void Lightning, like the normal trap that they put with the pet that's like, doing the ink all over the place. So with Void Lightning, when you cast it, it just starts happening right where you cast Void Lightning. Whereas roaring, when you cast it, especially when you cast it while like moving around, the pet teleports to where you end up and then it starts doing the CC. So it's like misleading also where it happens. Because if you think it's where they start roaring, that's generally not where the trap ends up if they were moving. So it's like even more hard to deal with. I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. That class is weird. But I really think like a lot of the tamers I talk to, like they don't enjoy that playstyle that much. Like they also wish it was just like a good assassin class. So I don't know. Needs a redesign. I'm trying to think if Hashashin, like how major it's gonna be for Hashashin. Like there are so few awakened Hashashins right now, so maybe the bond skills will bring awakening like to prominence. Like most Hashashins play suck, so I don't know. Maybe protected CC and awakening is what they're missing. I'm not too sure. I don't know that their options are all that good because most of the skills are too slow. I think only the I forget the key combination, but it's like their one fast ability that's getting protection will actually be good.
It's like forward F or some shit like that. The one where they just kind of like throw the shit out of the ground.
Might be SQ. Is it SQ? Can't remember, but yeah, it's the fast one. It's the fast one. Might be an F skill. So that one will be good.
Does it kind of look like their grab almost?
I don't think it has a snake animation.
Does it not? Maybe we're thinking the wrong skill.
Yeah, or I think
we might be thinking of a different skill.
I know which one you're talking about. I think that one's SRMB, the one that kind of looks like the grab where it's one single snake comes out. I'm thinking of a different skill though.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking of their skill that is basically the debuff. I'm pretty sure it's like the debuff that's getting protection. It's actually really fast. Anyway, I don't know. We'll see. Hashashin's one of the other classes too that I'm like kind of considering tagging because I know its PvE is good, but it feels like such a slow class. I'm not super into playing slow. I know it's like mobility is fast within a fight, but it still is like the animations are so long. Like I like classes where it feels like you have to do a lot of skills in a combo, like quickly,
Yeah.
Hashashin, you're like,
I don't know if
3 skills.
Does Hash really need to be more protected though?
Does it need to be more protected?
I feel like if anything, the thing that Awaken Hash is lacking is like CC potential because it's basically like block jump and that's it. I feel like when I'm fighting a Hash, they're basically just waiting to try and block jump me.
Yeah, or grab if they're awakened. That's it. Yeah. No. Oh, they're also getting protection on that forward spinning skill. That's what it is. That's the forward RB. Yeah, the movement one. They're getting protection on that one. I don't know what the cooldown is on that skill, but that one actually is hard to avoid, and I think it ignores collision too. So that one might be really good.
Yeah, it does ignore collision, which is very frustrating.
Dude, that one actually might be fun, man. Wait, should I go Hash? Hold on. That sounds fun as hell. Oh, dude, I could be the sand monster.
Maybe the sand monster you wanted to be when you first saw Hash.
I know. Do you remember how hyped I was?
You were super hyped, and then the second you saw like gameplay of it, you were like, eh.
Right when I went on Global Labs, I was like, dude, these animations are long. Oh my god, they're so long. This feels like Awakened Wizard.
I don't know about that, but
dude, some of the snake like awakening animations like actually feel that long though. Like you're holding it forever.
The shift LMB maybe because that one is pretty long. The shift RMB if you like really hold on to it, but you can just let it go early. Also, I never see anyone use that in PvP. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think it's the shift RMB, the one where they spin the thing over their head. They look like a helicopter. They're trying to fly away.
Yeah. I don't even know if that skill really does. I don't think it does any damage in PvP, does it?
I think it's just PvE skill, TBH.
Yeah. I don't know. I know I was gonna be a sand mage. I don't know. I'm trying to think what other classes. DK ones are still like they have some good ones also, but they're like suck still better. It's the thing. It's actually insane to me to think that there's some classes that are about to get protected CCs in Awakening, which is a huge deal, and their suck's still gonna be better.
Yeah.
Especially since you can choose. Like, if it was like, yeah, well, the one we're getting is bad, but it's like, dude, everyone's getting 6 options, and like, you still can't make it be better than suck is insane. I don't know.
Do you think? Do you think mooses are still gonna complain?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They have a you know, I don't know. They have you know those pictures that are up in office buildings that it's like a waterfall and it says success.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or integrity. Like they have pictures like that up.
Like motivational posters.
Yeah, they have pictures up like that, but it says stuff like complain or don't let anyone tell you it's okay. You know, stuff like that. They wake up and they read those pictures and then they log into BDO. Just angry. They remind themselves every morning that it's okay to be. They have one up that just says it's okay to be angry. The world is against you.
Yeah, mooses. I don't know when that happened, but mooses have a real victim complex.
Dude, every class in this game. You know, like one of the questions I get so much is, hey, I want to play X class, but I don't really want to deal with people telling me like or shit talking me because I play said class. And it's like, or I want to play blank, but I know it's overpowered, so I'm probably instead going to play blank. Dude, I've said this before, but it does not matter what class you play. I promise you, everyone is going to complain if you kill them no matter what.
Oh yeah.
If you are a Zerker, why do you have so many protected grabs? If you're a warrior, you're too fast. Why do you also have a grab? Why is your grab so fast? Why do you always have protection when you block? If you're a guardian, you're way too protected. Your AoEs are too big. Why am I slow debuffed? If you're a tamer, you're cheesing me with tamer traps. If you're an awakened tamer, you're 2v1. That's not fair. Your grab is so fast. This class is stupid. If you're a ranger, why do you get to down smash me? Why is your range damage so high? Why is the damage so high? This class is super overpowered.
Well,
it makes no sense.
Hold on. Down smashes though, that is an actual
No, fine.
problem,
That's
though.
fine, but I'm just pointing out. My point is, like, no matter what class you play, Kuno moves too much, does too much damage, DK does too much damage, it counters my build, like, no matter what class you play, everyone you beat is going to complain about your class and whine about you no matter what. So just play the class that you love and know that everybody is wrong and they're stupid and ignore them and you play whatever you like.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
I
don't care.
But yeah.
You don't get to control the balance. It's not my fault that Kuno moves quickly. That I didn't design the class. That complaint goes to Cacao or Pearl Abyss if you have that problem. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to not use my kit because it's strong. I'm sorry. I'm like, it's yeah, I don't know. I don't care. If you're a Zerker, yeah, I'm going to grab you every time I can grab you, and I'm not going to care how you feel about it. It's just the class. Sorry. Deal with it.
Yeah, there is definitely, like, at the end of the day, like, and that's what I would tell people too if they asked me that question. I'd be like, listen, man, no matter what you play, people are going to complain about your class because it's really easy to look at what makes other classes strong and not put that in the context of that class, but instead put that in the context of your class. So I'll just pick on mooses as an example. It's really easy for mooses to say, well, grabs are OP because in my kit, like, I have to do so much work to get a grapple, and they don't because they just grapple, but they don't realize that they have Dragon Bite, which is a 3-second movement protected CC, and like on Zerker, who has all the grabs in the world, there is nothing really even close to that. So it's really easy for them to look at the grabs and say, well, grabs are OP, look at how OP it is, it's super OP, but like they don't realize that what's lacking in the Zerker's kit, which has all the grabs, is the Dragon Bite, is the chase, right? The instantly, I'm just going to be protected no matter what you do. Like, you know, it's I don't know. It's hard for people to take things in the full context of the class, I think.
Yeah, there's a few things that's like, all right, if you want to complain about wizards and large scale, that's fine, but you don't have to like personally attack or shame or try to put someone down. Is where it, like, I feel like there's a line. You can have a complaint or say that something's not fair, but like if you're fighting with a friend and you're sitting there complaining about your friend's class in all of your duels, just know that that friend hates you for it. Whether they're going to tell you or not, they literally are just fed up with your shit, and they don't care, and they enjoy just clapping you. The more you complain, the better. Because they know they know deep down you're just bad.
There is like a line that crosses, right? Like, I think it's okay to like talk about the problems that you believe there might be, like with classes, right? And at the end of the day, you know, you can always just not talk to people, right? You can not engage with people. You can not duel with people if you don't like that, you know, the way that they're acting or the things that they're saying. But like, there is that line, right, where like, again, I'm gonna say, other than people who re-rolled the Suck Wizard just because it's literally the most busted class in the game, like, don't shit on people for playing a class. You can shit on the class. And you can shit on the devs for making a class the way that it is. But like you were saying earlier, like the people playing the class, they didn't make that class busted, and nor did they probably re-roll to it, again, except for Suck Wizard. Did they re-roll to it because it's like super OP or because this one aspect of it is really busted? Right?
Dude,
and again, I keep having to say except for Suck Wizard because so fucking many people re-rolled the Suck Wizard just because it's broken.
True.
So that like, I'm going to keep saying like that's the one exception. And it sucks for people who didn't re-roll to Suck Wizard because it's busted. Because now you have to get lumped in with all the other people, unfortunately.
But there were a lot of there were a lot of people though, like Awakened Witch was way more popular than Wizard, and
yep,
you were basically doing yourself a disservice by continuing to play Awakened Witch when Suck Wizard's out. When all you have to do is switch your Awakening weapon. So for like those people too, I kind of like don't mind it as much, especially because it's easier to defend yourself. But like in the context of Node War, it's one thing, but just like, I don't know, trying to make one individual person feel bad, I'm just not a fan of it at all. I can't stand that shit. It's like, whatever, dude. Like, you could blame the class all you want, but it is what it is. And the other thing too is like no one knows that like everyone sees the things that are strong. They never notice or acknowledge the things that are weak. Like when someone complains about, I recorded a fight with a friend that was about 30 minutes long. And during the recording, like somewhere near the 20-25 minute mark, they said that all I do is dash and grab, and it always works, and that it's not fair because I could just go step grab or dance macabre grab. So I went through and rewatched the replay of the fights, and in the 30 minutes, there was like 27 grapple attempts. 3 of them succeeded, and I got CC'd out of like 7 of them. But they never noticed that they caught me out of a grab or that I missed all those grabs. They only remember the ones that succeeded. And it's like, dude, that's all you do. All you do is grab. Nope. Easy class. All you gotta do is grab. And it's like, no, dude, you have no context. You're not acknowledging all the other attempts that I had to do. All the times you caught me when I was trying to grab. It's like that stuff is just completely irrelevant. People only remember the things that frustrate them, and that's it. I don't know. Yeah,
I think it's very easy to draw similarities to, not to make this like depresso espresso or anything, but it's very easy to draw similarities to like real life, where it's like really hard for people to look at another group of people and like understand where they're coming from with their experiences and their opinions and their thoughts and their struggles. And you know, it's really easy to look at yourself and say, you know, well, this is how things should be, or yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, like it's a conglomerate of different people, and in this game, different classes that are working with different tools and different experiences and things like that. And so your own little personal bubble of what you experience, it does matter, but at the same time, it's important to also take into account like everyone else and the things that they have to struggle with as well, whether you're talking about IRL or in BDO, like in the middle of a fight. Right. So
for sure, every class, I don't know, everyone deals with some shit, man. Like every class has its things that are frustrating for the person playing it. Like every class. You can ask any Zerker, they have a huge list. You can ask like even classes that are strong, there's a list of things that like, but why does this work this way? This is so bad and frustrating.
You know, we should do that one day actually. We should just get together like good PvPers in like every single class. Like get one good PvPer from every single class and then just be like, what's like the biggest problem that you have with your class, of like your biggest complaint, your biggest like your class's downside sort of thing. Yeah. Just so we can have like an archive of it, basically. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that everybody can like go back to it.
Yeah. Well, everyone will disagree with it. Or people will be like, who cares? You have blank, you know? Yeah, it's like, I don't care if you get grabbed a lot. You have Meteor. Okay? Deal with it. Yeah, it's I don't know. No one will ever understand. You know, it's fine. Just that's what my point is. You should play with the mindset of I don't care what they say. Just play whatever you like because you like it. If you like it because it's powerful, cool. The devs did that, not you. So enjoy whatever you enjoy. Honestly, I don't care. If you play Flavor of the Month class, dude, that's the other thing too. Is like there's so much like shaming for re-rolling in this game. It's like, dude, at the end of the day, it's a fucking game. I'm gonna play whatever is fun to me. If it's the most fun to get on a wizard and kill everybody, and that's the easiest way to do it, then so be it, dude. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. That just needs to, like, the thing is like that needs to be addressed with the devs and the balance and all that stuff. Like, if you have a real problem, like, submit tickets, go to like the feedback forums, try to like make noise about it. You telling me over and over in voice chat during our duels that my class is busted is not helping either of us at all. Anyway, moving on. So Rabam skills, real quick, before we go on to the global lab stuff. Is there anything with the Rabam skills that you're excited about, Reslar?
Nope.
Now, is that because both the classes you play are way too busted and need to be nerfed, or?
No, it's because the Rabams are trash. I mean, unless, again, like, it's been a while, because they've been, you know, localization issues have really been delaying this coming out.
Yeah.
So unless there have been some changes that I'm not aware of, both the Archer and the Zerker, like, new Rabams are pretty garbo.
I actually found out that the person, their main localization person that does all the localizing, also works at Blizzard, so he can't help them until he's done with Blizzard patches. so yeah,
that explains it.
Yeah, he's also Blizzard's lead localization guy. So once he finished Shadowlands, he was able to come right over and help us with our bond skills and our Rabams. So I'm excited to have him back temporarily.
Yeah. That makes sense. Man, I'm glad we finally figured that one out.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a few that I think are interesting that I want to point out. So one, and some of these people are going to disagree with because they hate the class, or maybe I'm just misinformed and wrong, but I'm going to go over some of these. So one, I'm going to just honorable mention Archer ones that Briz is excited for the Archer ones. All right. So, and he wants to take Rez into BA. He said, take Rez into BA and teach him a lesson. Oh no, he said, and do Archer stuffs with him. We got a new SA Stiffen rework, another Meteor dive essentially.
Are you talking about the Rabam that's already out? Because yes, I do actually like that skill. The Super Armor Stiffen, and I have been trying to use it in PvP. The rework Rabam I actually like. I don't like the one that Senny said that he likes. I've been trying to use that one. Not a fan of the knockdown. It's too long of an animation. But the Super Armor Stiffen is actually really nice, and it's actually like a pretty solid skill. But as far as the newer bombs, as far as I'm aware, they're all garbage. The two new ones that we're getting two of them, right? That you choose from or whatever.
Yeah. Let me pull up.
Those are both garbage from what I remember whenever the Rabams first came out. But yeah, the rework one, the rework Stiffen is really, really nice.
For sure. Hold on, I'm trying to find the okay, here we go. Hold up the KR notes just so I have it. So I think that there are a few interesting ones that I think are important. So Sork, right now Sork relies really heavily on knockdown. And when the PvP damage ratio changes came, Shadow Ignition's damage, while you can argue it was too strong, now like does significantly less damage. Plus, since then they've added the new DR brackets, so people are a little bit more tanky, at least at the high end. So Shadow Ignition isn't as strong as it used to be. So I actually do think that their new Rabam that is, I don't know what the name of it, but one of the new Rabams that adds a float is going to be an interesting option if it does a lot of damage, because it's a float, it has a little bit of range. I think it'll be interesting as a re-CC, basically, for damage, because it's a float, so if they run into someone with the resist build, they won't necessarily be screwed, and then plus the damage might be kind of nice. The other one is they have a skill that's basically forward guard. That's 2 hits. It's almost exactly Dark Flame, except it shows the Shadow Eruption animation. In my opinion, one of the laziest Rabam animations in the whole game. It's literally just the 2 skills animations combined. But whatever. And that one I think is going to be interesting for Sork, because it's going to be another option to recover stamina. It's a 16-second cooldown, and the animation's kind of long. But it'll be an additional like Dark Flame kind of thing to recover stamina, which is nice since they don't have S-Block. Might make Sork a little bit more viable. The Ranger ones I think are nutty. I think they have the option to hold Frontal Guard with one of their charge ones that looks like Descending Current, or just instant shoot it, and it's a knockdown from range that falls from the sky. That one I actually think is really powerful. They also have a disengage one that kind of reminds me of how, you know, how Archer has like 3 or 4 of the arrows where you basically shoot it as you're moving backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got one like that. I don't know if that one will be used. It's not protected at all, but it's an option. But the Descending Current looking one I think is pretty good. The Kuno ones, I have hope that they're going to be decent. I think one of them is going to be used in PvP as the damage one is going to be used as a finisher potentially if the skill's fast enough. I'll have to test it because it's a lot like Heart Snatch, but actually has down attack damage modifier. And then the other one is a disengage. That is weird, but it still has some use. A disengage is a disengage, so safe way to get away is whatever, something. Tamer, I mean, theirs is just damage. I don't know, they have a single target damage one that looks like it's going to hit really hard, but it's kind of funny because Tamer's damage is already crazy, but I think when the PvP damage ratio changes came, some of the matchups, their damage is bad, so maybe this will help kind of fill that gap. I know Mooses and Mewas are super pissed about all of their Rabams, so we won't talk about them. The Valkyrie one is insane. The Valkyrie one is actually nutty to me, so it's literally just like a long charge up that just does a ton of damage. It also seems like a finisher. Like after a float, they're just going to use it. They nerfed its accuracy because for whatever reason, the first week it had 50% accuracy. Now it's only 12.5%. But I think that skill is going to be crazy. Neither of theirs have protection. The ninja one, I know everyone's concerned about this ninja one. That's like the damage dealing one, 650x4 and then 875x4 and then 1035x6 with 75% crit and 25% accuracy. Yeah, Ninja's gonna be blowing people up with that most likely. So we'll see if that stays as it is. But that one looks pretty scary.
You are right to be scared. They are going to destroy you.
that one is gonna be scary. I don't know how it won't. I don't know if a lot of them will be using it in Node Wars that much, but in 1v1, that it's good luck surviving against a Ninja's combo. As a Kuno, I can't complain that much because our Wheel Wrath also hits super hard and has a lot of accuracy, but I don't know. I don't know if Ninjas were having trouble dealing damage, is why it's such an odd one. But whatever, is what it is. The Wiz Witch ones, I don't know. I have to see them in action because they look really slow. So I have to see how you can actually use them. One of, the Wizard one just seems like a mortar from far. The Witch one just seems bad through and through. But we'll see. We'll see what's up with that. Dark Knight got an airstrike. So if anyone has ever mained Dark Knight, airstrike is cancelable in succession, but not in Awakening. So what Awakening players do is they try to camera turn the last hit of airstrike so it doesn't get the bound and like re-CC. But there's no way out of it, so it's a lot less safe of an engage, whereas the succession one you can cancel out of the end, so it's infinitely more safe. They're getting a new basically airstrike replica on a long cooldown. It's 35 seconds, but it is cancelable in Awakening as well. So
Mina says the bound has been removed.
From what?
I'm assuming airstrike.
Oh, the bound was removed. Okay. Well, regardless, like the main point is that the end animation is not safe, and you were stuck in it in Awakening, and in Succession you don't have to be. But with the Rabam version, you can cancel out of it in both kits. And then the other one is like a Camouflage Balance Strike thing that it looks on paper like it does damage, but when I was testing it with DKs on Global Labs, it did like 0 damage. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Maybe it's just a PvE skill. I don't know. Striker got a punch. Boring ass, just lame punch. Mystics are kind of lame too. They have one of those weird ones that's like an unprotected skill with no CC that also is kind of a long animation. And then they have another one that's just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, what's up with those? Because there's quite a few classes that have those types of things. I think Zerker has one of those as well. It's like the axe combo Rabam thing that doesn't CC, isn't protected, but apparently is supposed to just be for damage, but the damage on it is apparently not super good from what I've been told.
Yeah. I don't know, someone, Zerker was telling me that they think that one of these skills is actually going to be good as a pull ability. So there's this sleeper good pulling ability that all right, on Guardian, they have a skill that healed them 400 HP and gave them DP, right? And it's like 20-second cooldown. When we got the Rabam reworks that didn't come with the actual Rabams, this like last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever, they removed the 400 HP and removed the DP buff, but increased the attack range, but the skill does no damage. So Guardian's like, what the hell? Who's going to use this skill? This is awful. But it turns out that it's basically a 360-degree roaring with a 20-second cooldown. So it actually became like a really, really good pull ability. And I have a feeling one of the Zerker ones is kind of like that. Like, might actually be good for pulling, but I don't know if that's important to Zerkers or not, but it could be interesting. I don't know what the cooldown... Let's see what the cooldowns are. I don't know which one is which looking at this, so... it's hard to tell, but yeah, the Zerker ones, like when I was testing with the Zerker in Global Labs, and basically neither of them, one of them did okay damage, but the amount of time it takes to execute the skill doesn't really work because the whole thing's unprotected. Yeah, so the cooldowns are pretty long, 24 seconds and 18 seconds. So I don't know. That's a possibility that it's good for pulling, but that's it. Who knows? Maybe for PvE, the damage is actually good. I don't think a lot of people test PvE on Global Labs that much. They mostly just go to BA, so we'll see. Yeah, and I don't know what the deal is with that. The whole like unprotected. I mean, if it does a shitload of damage, it makes sense if it's no protection and no CC. But if it like does a little bit of damage and no protection and no CC, then it's like really weird to me. Lon got some okay ones. I think one of them is going to be, I don't know, one of them's just protected, and I guess is another like filler SA rotation. The other one actually does damage, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Neither of them seem particularly fast, so mostly will just be PvE, I think. And then you didn't like the archer ones, and the shy ones are weird too. I think. I don't know. It's like one of them is a self heal that you have to hit someone else, and one of them's like a buff. I don't know. Shies are a lost cause. Sorry, Shies. I don't know why they hate your guys' class, but they really, really do. They don't like Shies at all.
I think they're just lost. I think they're very confused and lost on as to what Shy is supposed to be.
The warrior one, I'm told one of them is a good re-CC, I think. that it's actually going to be like a powerful re-CC, but that's it. But it'll actually like do a lot of damage on a re-CC. So it's like combo and a re-CC will be more, I don't know, I guess reliable. If that's a thing that they needed. Now they have it. We'll see. Dude, I can't believe all that shit is coming on Wednesday. It's so funny. It's a lot of stuff at once. All right, so what?
Along with probably 5 other events that are going to be super confusing and or useless.
Yeah, we have way too many events right now. I can't. I just stopped keeping track, and the turkey thing is so bad.
Yeah, I also just kind of like the last patch notes. I didn't even read because people were like, "Yeah, there's this new event with this event and this other event." I was just like, "Bro, I can't keep up anymore."
Yeah, I think with the turkey one, either those cron stones should be Kaffir stones, or they should add an extra 0. Like if every time I randomly ran into this turkey, I got like 10 to 30 crons, that'd be kind of cool. But getting 1 to 3 crons is so bad. It's like, I don't even know if that's worth me stopping my grind. I'm pretty sure I lose money killing those turkeys.
Yeah, probably.
All
Especially
right.
with how like it doesn't seem to spawn that often.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe in higher dense spots, I don't know what caused it to spawn, but when I've only gotten the turkey like 4 times.
I mean, I've been grinding basically since we started this call. Well, not since we started the call. Basically, since we started the podcast, I've been grinding Blood Wolves, and only 1 has popped up. So,
yeah. Oh, I think the server is down. Let's go to the KR notes. All right, Global Labs. Onward and upward. Oh, do you think is it going to be Wizard Desert Online? Everyone's saying the Harry Potter expansion to BDO is coming out on Wednesday.
I think you're gonna see a lot of people tagging Wizards and bringing it to war, but I don't think it's gonna be as bad as people are kind of like acting like it's gonna be. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's not gonna be like everyone rerolls to it. It's just gonna be the people who the only reason they didn't reroll to Wizard before was that they didn't want to spend the money to do it or use coupons to do it for whatever reason. Like those people are gonna reroll to it.
I mean, I do have this hope that every single node war is like every 40 man is 35 wizards on each team. Every 100 man is 75 wizards on each team. So that way it's like finally addressed because it's just gotten so out of hand. But I don't think enough people are going to do it.
No, you'd have to start a movement. You want to start a movement, man?
Yeah. Maybe
Dude, I will help you start a movement if you really want to.
What do you want changed on Wizard though? Like, what's the net outcome that you want?
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, listen, I understand the class has to be good at large scale. Because that's like its whole thing. I don't know. TBH, like what kills me about Suck Wizard that I don't understand is, as far as like relating to the actual class itself, right? Is the sheer amount of movement that it has. Its ability to get in and out, like, is arguably on par with like assassin classes. And that is very, very confusing to me. Like, I get that you want it to have more mobility than Awakening, which is this very slow and stationary spec. Yeah. But fuck, man, that class moves when it wants to. Like, it is crazy. That's really my biggest issue. I have other issues with Suck Wizard that aren't really specifically tailored to the class itself. Obviously, I fucking hate PA. I wish that they would remove PA, but that would require reworking a lot of other aspects of this game, including the castles themselves. Like, the layout of the castles would have to be changed. At least if you wanted to do it right. They could also just nerf ranged classes into the dirt, which would be the wrong way to solve the problem of no PA, but it would obviously be the easier one. I have a real fucking problem I discovered recently, that their ranged combo is starts with a knockdown, which annoys the shit out of me because it means you can't V, which is more of an issue with the rules surrounding V than an issue with Suck Wizard specifically. But yeah, that's really annoying because it basically, if you get knocked down from a Suck Wizard from range, you're basically dead as fuck unless you just manage to out survive their combo, which is unlikely.
Yeah.
So, because you just can't V unless you escape, which is also a problem, but again, not related to Suck Wizard.
I think someone mentioned it in the comments, so I apologize for saying it first, but someone had I'd mentioned that I think escape needs to have some timer, like a countdown, right? Because it's just abused so much. Like escape's not supposed to save you from a mistake you made in Node War. Like the idea is to get you out of a stuck
V
place.
is supposed to save you from a mistake you made in Node War.
So V should just always work. Like, no matter what.
Yeah.
I don't think there even should be a limitation to when you can use V. I think if it's off cooldown, you should be able to use it no matter what. Like, when the game released, there was some reason why it made sense, but it just doesn't make sense the way it is now. So, the other thing is, like, with the escape, someone had the idea of, because if you had a 3 to 5 second timer, you might just die from mobs, right? If you're trying to escape because you got stuck in a wall and mobs are hitting you, and you're like, oh my god, like I can't, there's nothing I could do. That 5 seconds of time, you'll probably die. But they could just add monster DR during that time. Like, if you press escape, you can get, like 50 monster DR for 5 seconds. That way you don't die to mobs. Or at least you can outpot the mobs wherever you are, if something like that happened. But just make it like a 5 second, now when I say channel, I don't mean like your character is like not able to move, or like you can't cancel out of the channel or whatever, but like if you press escape, there should be a 5 second timer before anything happens. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. But
yeah,
as far as like, listen, man, if you want to, I am 100% down with starting a fucking movement about the problems of goddamn Suck Wizard. We can get a conference together with a bunch of influential people and just fucking have a fucking put out a fucking hashtag, whatever the fuck people do these days. Get as many people as we can to tag Suck Wizards and take those Suck Wizards into Node War, almost as a way of protesting, basically. Like the fact that this class is just so fucking strong, and that they continuously, for how long has Succession been out now? Like, actually,
I think they started coming out at the end of the year last year, so it's almost a year now, right?
So basically a year of Suck Wizard's reign, which I think,
At least in KR,
with maybe the exception of release like Awakening Weapon Warrior, is the longest span that ever class has been on top.
Yeah, it's up there. If not, I mean, maybe you can make the argument of Mystic, but Mystic, no, because the changes came to Mystic pretty early on, or the CC changes happened pretty early on after Mystic. So,
yeah, I think the only class that may have had a longer reign than Suck Wizard has right now is whenever Warrior Awakening first came out to the CC changes. I don't remember when that timeline was. I don't remember exactly when that was, but I feel like it was longer than a year.
well, but that was like, there were still other classes that were strong for portions during that time.
Absolutely, yeah.
So,
But Warrior was like insane during like the lingering period, right?
yeah, but I still think even during that, Mystic and
arguably not as strong as Suck Wizard is now, like comparatively, but still.
I mean, DK had a reign during Warrior's time. So did Striker and Mystic and Valk. So that's why, like, the Wizard one, I think you're right, is the longest. The longest where it's just clear, like there's no question that it's just on top. Like there's not even like a debate. Something happened, please. Just anything. Or like come out and be like, hey, we hear your feedback. We're trying to think of something. We haven't come up with a solution yet, you know?
Well, they kind of did. They said they were collecting data, remember? Whatever the fuck that means. Like people haven't been complaining about it. Like, what data do you need to collect? I'm very confused as to what you're collecting exactly.
Well, the thing is, though, is didn't that collecting data result in Meteor 200% getting nerfed, and that was it?
Was that the result of that? I thought that was a different. It may have been. I mean, the thing is,
data collection.
Yeah, I don't know. It may have been. Look, I don't have your chat pulled up right now, but I am seriously like, people in chat, would you be willing to actually tag a fucking suck wizard and take it into Node War to just flood the fucking Node War scene? With fucking suck wizard.
You're not a good salesperson. What Rezlar's trying to ask, would you be willing to dominate in every Node War you participate in and become an absolute god for a good cause?
Yeah, would you be willing to absolutely crush your enemies without even breaking a sweat?
Yeah.
Cause like at the end of the day, unless you see like a huge amount of people doing it, right, then it doesn't matter.
And Frax says, no thanks, I'd rather bottom frag and keep my dignity. Alright, on to positive stuff. Serendia's Swamp Naga habitat has been engulfed by Hadum. Swamp Naga's grind spot has been added to the Hadum server. Again, the loot is not decided yet, so right now it just drops trash loot and dust. This spot's a little bit more like straightforward grind spot, but there's like fights going on there and bosses spawn and there's poison in the water, so there's some little like
there's
things
poison in the water?
Yeah, you like get poisoned by these flowers or some shit. But it's kind of it looks like a fun spot to grind, and it looks super dense as well. So I'm hype with this spot. There's like a fight going on between the Nagas and the Fogans. So they're like attacking each other in both of their different spawns on this server. So it's kind of like the Papu versus otters, except you don't have to turn into a Papu or an otter. Ooh, Pirate Island Hadum win. That actually would be so... I hope they do Pirate Island. It is part of Calpheon. That would actually be really cool. If that spot became a thing again, I would love that. So yeah, there's that. They added in Odyllita. I think this is actually kind of huge. They added Otolita Scrolls. So, have you heard about this, Rez?
Yeah, I heard someone briefly mention it, but I haven't really looked into it yet.
So, you need 5 of them. It's basically just like PLFA or Voodoo Scrolls or relics or whatever. But you get 5 of them, combine them, run it, and the main loot that you get is dust and Kaffir stones with a chance to get... there's something else. You have like a chance to get a flame or Spectre's energy from it as well, which is kind of cool. I think this is going to up the value of these Odyllita spots a lot. I don't know if you'll be able to market the scrolls themselves, but just being able to get dust and Kaffir stones out of scrolls that you grind up over time is going to make the 250 spot even more viable, and Tauros and all that stuff like a lot more exciting and worth. Also, I don't know, man. I think that I'm looking at the Kaffir's market. I don't know if you are. I'm starting to think like we're never going to get to the point that KR got to because of all the stuff that they're adding. I was thinking about making a list just so I can remember it, but in the last like 6 months, they've added a bunch of stuff to like make it a little bit easier to get Kaffir stones. They've had a bunch of events to do it. They've added the 3 new rift bosses that give you like 100 dust a week. They added the 50 dust you get every day from doing RBF as a permanent reward. They're like adding dust and Caphras in rewards a lot more. Another one that they added on Global Labs this week is, well, they're adding these scrolls. That's going to be huge. They added a weekly quest for Blood Wolves, Shuriken Necropolis, and Blood Wolves, Shuriken, Shira Ruins, and Nighttime Shuriken, where if you kill a certain number of mobs each week, you can go turn in the weekly quest and you get 150 Ancient Spirit Powder. Which is kind of nice, because if you're grinding for the pot piece, I mean, a lot of these pieces take multiple weeks. So the fact that you could go grind like Blood Wolves, for example, let's just say you're one of the unlucky ones and you have to grind there for 40 hours or whatever. That's going to be anywhere, depending on how much you play, from a week to 4 weeks of playing. Like, you're just going to get an extra 120 Kaffir stones out of that, up to. Plus, you're filling the Great Marnie stones and whatever. Kind of nice. And then noobs that are grinding these spots will sell these to us, you know? Which is nice. Sell us that dust. And then lastly, that's also going to add to the Kaffir stone market is this new Chaos Rift. Which, have you seen this? I'm going to refer to Anders' video for this.
Yeah, I did watch some of it, yeah. Seems ridiculously difficult, though.
It does. You definitely, it looks like you have to go there with somebody if you want to actually be efficient at it. But basically a random rift will spawn. Right now in Global Labs, it's in 2 set places. But if you're on Arsha server, so it's an Arsha server exclusive thing. It only happens on Arsha server. So if you're on like grinding around or whatever, you'll get a notification on the server, a server-wide notification that a Chaos Rift has spawned, and then you go there and you basically fight these mobs. I don't know how many people can get loot from the mobs, is the thing. It drops loot for multiple people, but it doesn't drop trash at all. They only drop Ancient Spirit Dust. So every single mob drops anywhere from 1. I guess the smallest mobs drop 1 dust, the medium mobs drop 2, and the big ones drop 3. And they take a long time to kill. So you have to go there with somebody, and I'm pretty sure it's party loot, or at least like multiple people can loot it. I have a feeling it's just going to be a shitload of PvP at these rifts, which I think is also kind of makes it fun, to be honest. Like on a normal live server, if that goes off and there's just going to be like 30, 40 people fighting over Chaos Rifts, I actually think kind of hype. And then I guess a boss spawns at the very end, or these bosses spawn at the very end. So if you actually like get to the end of this thing where a bunch of mobs on Doom Horses that are spamming Doom Horse skills are killing you. Did you see that part of it, Rez?
I did not.
Yeah, look at this here. I'll send you the video at the timestamp where it starts happening in Anders' video. Yeah, look at that shit. It actually is like crazy. It's literally a bunch of Doom Horses like charging you down. And he dies in the video, even though he's like 380 DP, but he gets Doom Horse to death. It looks really funny. It looks like the Rift boss.
Oh, that's yeah, that's the Rift boss, like
Yeah.
Kavala or whatever the fuck his name is. Oof, lost to Corrupted too. That's rough.
Yeah. Anyway, so I like this. Like I like stuff like this. I think this is actually a really cool thing. It looks really hard. Like this is a lot of mobs. Like maybe you have to go with I don't think he says how many people can get loot, but I think you have to go with a lot of people to get a bunch of loot. Otherwise you just get screwed. But it's a cool idea. I like it. And more dust in the marketplace. So we're going down, you know? There used to be, we went all the way up to 80,000 orders, and now we're all the way down to 36,000 orders on our server, so Kaffir stones are becoming more plentiful. Is there anything else?
You forgot to mention this awesome blue accessory event that we got, man.
No, I'm not.
What a great way to get Caphras.
Yeah. No, I'm not mentioning that. An event's not worth mentioning. I hate that event. The event just makes you feel left out because you don't have any accessories to participate. I do think it's funny though that people are now like if you look at Cagdom Ring, for example. So if you make a duo like these, people are actually buying these for 16.7 mil. So if you buy 2 Cagdom Rings, you have a 30% chance to fail, and you might not even get your 50 dust, and you just spent like 32 mil for 10 Kaffir Stones. You know you could buy 10 Kaffir Stones with 32 mil?
Yep.
People are like, it's like actually crazy. People are nutty. Dude, you can't. Yes, you can, dude. Even though there are orders up, most people cannot. If you're actually buying Kaffir Stones, most people cannot afford to keep up with the amount of Kaffirs you get per day. So it like for me, like a few weeks ago, I would get 1 order a day, maybe. Sometimes it takes 2 days, and then it started getting closer to like. Sometimes I'd get 2-3 orders a day, but now like pretty consistently I can get like 5 or 6 orders every day. So most people are not making enough money unless they're playing all day every day to even keep up with Kaffir orders. So it's pretty easy to buy Kaffir Stones now. So like paying 30 mil for rings to gamble and try to get 10 Kaffir Stones, I think is kind of nutty. I don't know. Not into the idea. I think people are going a little overboard. People are getting a little cray-cray with that shit. That's all I'm saying. And then they're gonna increase the amount, or they're increasing the probability of Bloody Nuver, Nightmare Zarka, and the new Siren Karandov spawning. So now that the event's over and we realize that these bosses never spawn, they're buffing it. Which is a good thing, I think. Yeah.
I mean, it's just another step towards what I said when these bosses originally came out, which was eventually these are just going to be the new bosses.
Yeah, I think the bosses do spawn the same on all channels. They said on the forum that was a bug that it didn't spawn the same on all channels. I think when it spawns Nightmare, it's supposed to be Nightmare on every channel. Dude, it sucks because now that happened, everyone's confused by it. Yeah, I have not fucked the new.
They probably did some spaghetti code where it was 50% chance on every channel that one would spawn instead of just 50% chance that it would spawn on every server.
Yeah. Yeah, standard stuff, you know?
Standard stuff. You still haven't done Bloodstorm though? You didn't go to the ones that were guaranteed?
Nah. I probably should have, but I just... Nah, I don't know. I don't like fighting Nuver. It's so far. And everyone's like, you're basically trading a bunch of tiers. Everyone's tearing up. Everyone's mass tiering. I don't know.
That's why you just put an alt out there, my guy. That's what I do.
Yeah, I probably should, but do I need a boss alt there? Is it that good? Is it like worth?
I mean, for the Bloodstorm, I mean, you can get a fucking Tet Nuver. You literally just get like what are most Nuvers going for right now? Like 1.7? It's just a free 1.7 bill.
Big Plays says tried with a Guardian alt 19 deaths. Hell yeah. I don't think I have enough characters.
How do you not have enough characters?
I don't know. Some of them have EXP that I don't want them to lose. Like I have some characters that are like 62, 30% to 60, and I kind of don't want them to drop down to 0. I wonder too if everyone's there with their alts at Bloodstorm Nuver, is it even gonna die?
Yeah.
You think it'll still die?
Yeah. Because it's not like everybody's going to be there on their alts. And most people, even if they're bringing their alts there, they're going to have like Oasis gear with like quest accessories.
Yeah, true.
So it's not like the old days of like you bring a level 14 to the Zarka. You know what I'm saying? Like these are going to be probably like level 56 to 60s with Oasis gear and quest accessories.
So we will report back next week how how the servers are with all the new changes. If we notice any differences, if we ended up liking our Archer Rabams more than we thought or less than we thought, and find out what I tagged. What am I gonna tag, Rez? Like, this shit's gonna cost me so much money. It's gonna cost me like $3 a week to keep re-rolling my tag character.
At this point, man, if you actually can't like come up with a decision, put that shit on a wheel and spin it. There's a wonderful website called Wildstar, I believe. You put in options and you spin the wheel and it lands on whatever, and that's what you go with.
It's a clever name. Wheel decide. I get it. Wouldn't it be a great Patreon perk? You get to pick my class. All right. Anything else you want to talk about before we get to comments?
No, I don't think so. Also, new respawns in 3 minutes, right?
Probably. Let me know if it's bloody. No, I don't have a character anywhere near it. It's not going to happen.
You don't have an alt up there?
No. I've been
What
too
happened to
lazy.
your
Dude.
alt?
At Nuver? Or do you mean Zarka?
Not new Vel.
Oh, Vel. I thought you said, oh shit, Vel. Wait.
Vel. What?
You said Nuver. What? You just said Nuver. You said Nuver.
No, I
They're
did
all
not.
saying in chat that you said Nuver. They're saying you said Nuver. You 100% said Nuver.
Definitely did not.
Clip it. He said Nuver. He 100% said Nuver, dude. That's why I was like, well, I don't have an alt at Nuver. That's why I was like, dude, I just told you I don't have an alt there. What do you think has changed in the last 60 seconds?
If I said Nuver, then I said Vel in my head, so it's irrelevant.
True. DK win? Dude, the problem here, I don't like DK. I'm sorry. I like its color scheme. I can't stand how her character looks. I don't like the animations. Although, man, I would do so much damage. I don't know. It doesn't really look fun to grind on either. To me, anyway. I'm always complaining about how OP DK is. I don't know. I don't know about that.
Alright, so you're gonna do comments or you want me to?
Yeah. I'll do comments. Hold on, let me dude, we need to get hard, man. I need a boost. I need a boost like from either Garmoth or Vel just to like that motivation to get something expensive, you know? I need that little boost. Just put me a little bit closer. The idea of grinding 70 bill makes me want to play League of Legends. Oh my god, dude. Oh man, my plat has 2 people. I feel like I'm about to have the same issue Nyashi had where last week he only got an intermediate bundle. Which was hilarious, by the way. I can't believe that happened. I don't even know how that's possible.
I still wonder what the loot difference is between...
Yeah. Alright. Oh, Dimtree's up too. Spirits have awoken.
Alright. I gotta practice iframing the Vel hit.
Alright. Start the comments in the meantime. Here we go. So, for anyone who is new to the show or just joining, every single week we read the comments on the show that are on YouTube. We put up the podcast on YouTube, so if you want to leave a comment or say something or complain or share something or whatever, you can do so in the YouTube comments. So we read it every single week. So Low Port Chalk says, just gonna get my first in before all the notification lads zip in here. You did it, dude. Congratulations. Best Reggie says, awesome work, guys. I'm going to check out Patreon for you. Greets from Germany. Well, thank you. We appreciate it. Mr. No Cash said, did any of you guys play Wildstar? Dude, that game was... I hated Wildstar. Even though you guys don't like traditional tab targeting MMOs, you can't deny there's a large player base that enjoys that style. Would an MMO with more action combat fancy you? Ashes of Creation has a pretty interesting system. See, I always wonder if like I don't know that the player base that I'm trying to think of how to word this. I think there is a player base that likes tab targeting. I do not believe that they specifically love tab targeting and are looking for a tab targeting game. I think it's just that all of the other elements in a lot of these tab targeting games are what they like. And thus, they're okay with playing tab targeting. I don't think if you were to release a tab target version of BDO that there would be a large group of people that are like, that's what was missing from BDO. We needed tab targeting. You know? So while I agree there are probably some people that prefer tab targeting, I don't think that that's a majority at all. I think they just prefer the type of MMOs that happen to be tab targeting. Does that make sense? They're generally like MMOs with dungeons and a trinity.
Yeah. Also, Ashes of Creation. Yes, hype. I'm full on the hype train. I don't know about... I think Frosty's been kind of up and down on it. I've been full on the hype train for a long time now. I did their Kickstarter back when they like first announced. I'm full aboard the hype train. What are you feeling about Ashes now that we've been seeing a lot more like actual gameplay come out?
I think it
Like
looks awesome.
Since, I don't know, like 4 months ago.
I think it looks awesome. The only thing for me that they need to fix is the way the characters, like their actual character animations during skills look really bad. They do that thing where the torso is independent from the legs for some reason on all their skill animations. But outside of that, like I think it looks awesome. There were times like when I first heard about it and heard it described, I was like, that sounds awesome. That's gonna be cool. And then it was like 2 years later, kind of no information. And then I saw the initial PvP and combat, and I was like, that looks really bad. But the more recent stuff looks a lot better. So I actually am kind of excited for it. It's one of those things I feel like it's not going to be out for forever. So
I think they're aiming to release next year, aren't they?
They may be, but it's not going to happen. As an insider, I'm telling you, I have a podcast. Yeah, I don't know. Wildstar also, I love the example of Wildstar. I don't know if, was Wildstar action combat or tab? But the reason why that game is interesting to me is because that game died and the servers closed. So I feel like that's a bad example to make your point if it's a tab target game. Maybe I'm crazy. And also that game was so like it had an art style that you really had to like in order to like it. Like it was so cartoony. Like have you ever seen, if you've ever played Torchlight, like Wildstar was basically like a third person Torchlight. I don't know. Moving on. Kenichi Sai says, also remember when they added frenzied mode to Nuver and Kudum if they don't die fast because they were boring as fuck and nobody was doing Nuver and Kudum? Yeah. Bloodstorm Nuver has it also. Bloodstorm Nuver is a Dark Souls incarnate. And Blue Accessory event actually cancer and stupid, and whoever thought of it should burn in hell. Because right now it's good to cron it, but also not good to cron it. You waste cron time, brain cells trying to participate in this stupid event. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think most people just aren't.
Yeah, I've just, did I get an advanced bundle? I did, dude. It's bundle opening time. Oh, let me use the restroom before I open my bundle. One sec.
Oh, good lord. The second time in this podcast, man. She's not here. All of a sudden, Frosty just becomes unhinged. I need to stand kind of like over. Actually, I'm just going to get back in the water. Oh, yeah. Well, it's just me and you podcast. Man, isn't this what you've always wanted? Just me. Your favorite part of this podcast. Isn't it lovely? I'm so glad that we can have this time together. I don't have Frosty's chat open, by the way, so you can shit talk me all you want. I don't see it.
All right. We ready? By the way,
Hey,
yeah?
I got advanced.
Same. By the way, all of these bio breaks could be commercial breaks for our sponsors. If anyone out there wants to sponsor us, these are easily spots to tell you what energy drink to drink, what video game to buy.
What are you drinking today? By the way, you didn't say it.
So today we're drinking a Full Throttle Original Citrus. Because
not sponsored, but could be.
And the reason I'm drinking this because we still haven't heard back from Monster, or Rockstar, or G Fuel, or even Tang in a Pouch, dude. We can sponsor Tang in a Pouch if they hit us up, or Capri Sun, High C, whoever. It doesn't matter. We'll take it. Ovaltine. All right, moving on. Yeah, this Full Throttle is very good. And if we don't hear back from them, I will be drinking something else next week for sure. So we'll see what happens.
All right, you ready for this bundle?
Oh yeah. Here we go. You ready? All right. Let me get my finger on the trigger here. All right. Even if only Reslar gets it, I will be happy. So please just give one of us a Vel's heart right now. All right, here we go. We're gonna on go. I'm counting down from 3. 3, 2, 1, go.
Nope.
Nothing. Dude, I don't know why I get mad every time because it's just this is what it is. But it's like, why is this what it is? This is so bad. Oh my god, dude. It's not even worth it.
You see, the problem is this was the week Nyashi was actually gonna get it, but he's not here. So it was like it ends up being nothing, you know?
Oh my god, dude. It's so sad. It's such a disappointment every time. At least give me more gold bars than 3. It's so stupid.
How many did I get? I got quite a bit actually.
I mean, I got 6 dust and 3
5?
Caphras. Ooh, does that mean Caphras order is about to go through, dude?
I got a bunch of Caphras. Well, actually, some of this might have been from the grind, actually. I don't know how much I got.
Someone anonymous says, Musa's about to sign the Mayflower Compact in that hat. He's talking about when we were like showing that stupid...
Yeah, it looks pretty ridiculous.
Oh, it's a bad hat, dude. It's so bad. I can't believe that they think that
it's basically the Archer Pilgrim hat, but worse.
Oh god, it's disgusting. Yeah, it's the Archer Pilgrim hat, but with a thimble at the top instead of an actual like cup.
It's also the way I didn't bring this up because I was just like in shock and terror, but it's also the way that the hat sits on the moose's head. Did you notice that whenever you were looking at it? It's like I don't know how to explain it.
It looks like a wood elf, like he's making shoes. You know how like hats are measured in gallons? Like you have like a big old cowboy hat. It's like, oh, I got a nice 10-gallon hat. Like that, the Moose's got that 1 quart hat, dude. It's just a quart.
1 quart.
It's just that little stupid hat, dude. What a dumb hat. Tina Marie says game mode should be worth your time. 200 mil plus, not this RBF crap. 8 mil Lamafau, a joke. I don't know. 200 mil sounds crazy to me, but
yeah, 200 mil probably. I would say too much.
Probably a little much, but it should be worth your time. I mean, to me, if something is really fun, it's worth your time. So if it's ridiculously fun, then it'll be worth my time. So it either needs to be absurdly fun and have like low margins, or be kind of fun and have good margins. I guess that's how I feel about it. Tomahomie says, yep, lost an L-Car in its first spawn in SEA server last Wednesday, and L-Cars here cost max price 50 plus pre-ordering at the moment. Hashtag never again. Edit, I was buying a Villa Invitation 10 minutes before it spawned, so yeah, very bad idea. Dude, you know what sucked? I died to cows this week, and I lost an L-Car crystal.
You died to what?
Cows. I was grinding Turos, and
cows.
I shadow stomped through. One of the cows stunned me, and I was already like missing 1,500 health, and it was nighttime, and the next 2 cows punched me in the back, and I died. Right? Lost an L-Car crystal. I submitted a ticket. And I pulled out all the stops, dude. I was like, listen, Cacao, first of all, I want to thank you for the hard work that you put into our game and updating our game every week. And I know you guys get a lot of flack and you have a lot on your plates, but I appreciate you very much. You guys have always been my heroes. You will always be my heroes. I think what you and PA do is tremendous. And I did a whole long thing, and I was like, listen, the other day I was grinding Tauros with my friends, and one thing led to another, and I'm missing an Elcar crystal. And it was an honest mistake, but it happened so fast that I panicked, and my stomach hurt, and I was scared, and I felt alone, and I died. And I would love more than anything if you guys would help me out and get that crystal back, because there's so many on back order. It's so hard to get. And they said, no. Sad, dude. Wow, seriously says, imagine replacing the most iconic classic intro of BDO. I'm glad the podcast has taste, keeping this legendary masterpiece. Thank you guys. Keep up the great intro. Oh, dude. I'm pretty sure I have the final masters for you if you want, if you're ready. We can go over and pick that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. As far as the sound, the volume might change, but not in anything within the song. So for us, we can just make it as loud or quiet as we want. So it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Yeah. Alba Visage C says, I'd far rather leaderboards and unique skins for new content like Thornwood. That way there's something other than a bunch of people bitching about silver per hour. I've spent thousands of hours unlocking status skins in MMOs. I don't disagree. The problem is that their task force is really tied up at the moment, you know?
Really tied up with those localization errors, man.
No, dude, it's not the local. I told you, their localization guy is free this week. he's got her back. Shadowlands it's Gold Master. It's being printed. There's nothing more localization can do. So that guy he's willing to work with the BDO devs now. I wish there was more than one person in the world that could do localization, so our guy wasn't always tied up. You know, sucks. But yeah, on the real, I think that I would be down for some skins. But the problem is, like, what happens once you have a skin? Like, it'd have to be a lot of skins, or really hard to get and really, really good. I think what they did with the skeleton costume skin is a cool idea for the grind spots. I wouldn't be opposed to that for this game mode. Have another skin like that, but maybe different looking. That's cool that you can earn. I still think a little bit of monetary or item income would be cool, though. Even if it's like, I don't know, what's usable? Like, if you could get, I don't even know. It's hard to say, but some reward. Looks like there's a box. Who knows how good it'll be? I don't know what else there will be, but it sounds like you're gonna get an RNG box, basically. Share My Feet says, Awakened Lawn is an assassin class, but no one talks about them. Sad face. Yeah. I feel like it's because they don't kill you as quickly. Like, they have to do like Awakened Lawn never comes down and like hard aiming fatal blow shadow stomps you and you're dead like Ninja Kuno do, you know? Or like Sork. I don't know, like Lawn feels more like a 1v1. I don't know how to explain it. Like, do you feel like Lawn is an assassin? I know its role is technically assassin-y, but it doesn't feel assassin-y. More like a disruptor.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you could argue that it's an assassin, but yeah, it's just kind of missing the elements of an assassin. I think one of the things that is making it kind of miss is that the animations on Lawn are pretty long, both Succession and Awakening. I feel like that's one of the things that your class, when you're thinking of an assassin, like an assassin is very, very fast, right? Think of, Sork and Kuno like spamming these abilities that have fucking 0.5 second animations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like,
does Lawn have any skill that has an animation that isn't like a second and a half long? I feel like everything they do is like, it's really high damage. Like, they have no problem murdering the shit out of you in very low time, but the animations just are so long.
Yeah, 100%. The animations are kind of too long, so it just doesn't feel like an assassin to me.
It's kind of the same way that Hash. Like, Hash literally translates into assassin, but as far as its awakening goes, like, the skill animations are so long and, like, drawn out and, like, exaggerated. It kind of doesn't feel like it's an assassin.
Paradigm saying, what's Ranger's role? Ranger is an assassin, but from the back line, they're sniping your ass. They're like an assassin in the modern sense of the word. They're the guy up in the building with the sniper rifle. You literally don't see them when you die. Especially if you have skill animations off. You don't even see the green lines. Abraxas KB says, I'm an EU player and I had to actually laugh out loud when Frosty said that. And then he says, it's so funny how hard, or how Frosty can laugh so hard about the Musa hat.
You channeling my Ashy a bit there? What's going on?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm kidding, dude.
It's crazy. What did I say? Here, let's see. What was this?
You probably
still want to go invade.
talk
the
shit
other
about
world.
EU.
You know, have the latent
That's what I
be
do usually.
really strong, like really tanky and do good damage.
Oh, it's the RBF
you know, it shouldn't
thing.
be
Why they're not going to RBF? Because they don't have the
Yeah,
gear
yeah.
to grind high end spots. They had to go to RBF, dude. Yeah. I know most other EU players didn't laugh out loud about that. They got really pissed. That's when they punched their desk and said, "All right, fuck this guy. I'm over it." Danielle Bachetti says, just to give context, when you invade in Gambit in Destiny 2, you only have 30 seconds to kill the enemy team. When you kill a guy, you heal their boss up, so you can stop them even if you don't have your own boss spawned already. Also, you are very powerful while invading, and you get 100% shield, so you basically have double HP, and you have a wall hack, so you can see them anywhere. You're like a predator. I guess Latent is their way to make you elite, in quotes, since a shield and a wall hack wouldn't work in BDO and 5v1. Also, you get way more invasion opportunities when you are losing the Seed War, so you can also come back. The mode is super fun. Sounds like they played on Global Labs. But that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad it sounds fun. Like that actually, dude, I can't wait. Like I hope we get that soon.
I'm excited.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
really
as soon
fun.
as the localization guy gets on it, I guess, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I want it. He's working on other stuff right now, but yeah.
Yeah, my concern is that he might also be working for Cyberpunk 2077. Is kind of my concern.
No, he's a Blizzard guy, so he's focused on Diablo 4 after we release our next patch. Yeah.
I see.
And
Are you hyped
Overwatch
for
2.
Cyberpunk? Are you going to be playing it whenever it comes out?
I'll definitely play it. I love games like that, like open world, just drive around and do random shit. But for me, I'm a multiplayer guy, and I think they said they're not releasing multiplayer for like a year after or something like that. So I'm excited, and I will get it on release, but I'm probably not going to play it as much as I will once it's multiplayer.
I think it comes out on my birthday, actually. When's it come out?
I don't know. They keep postponing it. Is it still this month?
No, it's next month now, I think. I think it's on the 9th. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Found a Thornwood reward bundle on BDO Codex. Yeah. So
Does it say what's in it?
No. It's just a picture of a chest.
Damn. It said what was in it. It might have been useful.
Yeah, there's two different ones though. There's a hold on one sec.
A losers and a winners, or what?
Yeah, there's a loser one and a winner one. I don't know which one this one is. It says brilliant, so it sounds like this one's more for the winners. Sorry, it got smoky in my house. Moving on. You meant yeah, Smokey the Bear. It got Smokey the Bear in my house.
Dude, you know what I realized the other day? Sorry, not to get off track, but I saw a thing that pointed out that it's not Smokey the Bear. It's just Smokey Bear. Like, Smokey isn't his name. His name is Smokey Bear.
Yeah. Did we talk about this, Smokey the Bear? And what's the other one? There's a guy named I guess in India, it's a guy named something the Mongoose. That is, there was like something the mongoose to like not mess with scorpions or something like that, right? And like these two people were talking about it, And the guy's like, what? You need a mongoose to tell you not to like mess with scorpions? And then the guy's like, you guys need a bear to tell you not to set forests on fire? It was pretty funny, like back and forth. Anyway, I don't know. Is it just Smokey? I guess, yeah. Well, he's Smokey. He's the bear that's named Smokey. I mean, his name is just Smokey, right?
No, his name is Smokey Bear.
Okay, that's like
that's
Yogi Bear.
I was reading this article on the Mandela effect, and that was one of the examples that they gave, was that people are convinced his name is Smokey the Bear, but it's just Smokey Bear.
Yeah.
Like, that's his name, apparently, which I was like, what the fuck? Apologies if you hear yelling in the background. The Saints are currently playing, so...
Oh, did you order your pizza?
I did, yes.
Oh.
I'm waiting for this to be over with so I can go eat and watch the game.
All right, moving on. Human and I. Bloodstorm Nuver is basically the final boss in Manaya's Core hard mode from 2014. The AoEs, now you have to jump between the circle and the donuts, how the Spitfire is an arc, how you have to run away when he summons the big AoE. Almost everything is the same. The second time it spawned in EU, I dodged almost everything and died once with a whiz. I got the Bloodstorm box, but I got scammed because when I opened it was a regular box. The extra 2 Nuver summons, he dropped the same Nuver loot, but you can't get intact scales from them. Sadly, if you need a minimum amount of players in order to make the boss spawn, I think we're never going to see Bloodstorm Nuver again after this event. I don't think the players don't dictate if the boss spawns or not.
Yeah.
It's just RNG.
Yeah. I don't know what that's from.
Yeah, me neither. Guessing PA being PA, I think we're going to transition from random spawn to a fixed time like World Boss nowadays. I don't know how about in EU, Zarka or Nuver spawn both at the same time on Sundays, 22:15. What do you think about making it fixed to Sunday every month spawn both the Nightmare and the Bloodstorm version of bosses at the same time? I don't know. I kind of prefer it being random so that way people actually kill the normal bosses.
I said this whenever they very, very, very first put Nightmare Zarka on Global Labs. I said this is just going to become the new boss. I said, first of all, they're going to come out with this for all the bosses, which they are now, obviously. I said, and then this is just going to be the new boss, which I still think it is because it's kind of how the bosses have been left behind in terms of like how the players have been progressing. And so the bosses have to progress with the players. So at some point, probably in the near future, once all of the Nightmare version of the bosses come out, Nightstorm and Siren and Bloodstorm and yada yada yada, whatever, you're gonna just see them replace the bosses instead of it being like a chance.
Right. It's
100% just gonna be every Zarka is Nightmare Zarka. Now Zarka is just Nightmare Zarka. Now Nuver is just Bloodstorm Nuver. You're not going to get the old versions of them anymore because of how the game has to progress, basically. Like, I have a feeling that's where they're going with this.
Yep. And then the one thing, though, with Manaya's Core reference is Manaya's Core had a mechanic where you took a bleed, and there were 3 different bleeds, and you had to go into a certain circle to get the bleed, and then the next time she spawned it, you had to get the next bleed in a specific order, otherwise you instant died. So that part's different. Yeah, that would be fun on Nuver, everyone working together to get the bleeds. And if someone missed the bleed, then everyone got fucked. Pedro Montiero says, to be honest, Thorntree Castle needs to be fun. I was one of the guys that was all day in Shadow Arena, but I was playing with my friends. It was super fun content. I was like able to do with these 5+ hours of Shadow Arena with my friends in a party. They just should have nerfed the rewards more, make it less profitable, and then actually grinding or life skilling. But no matter what, if you have fun, you will keep playing that game mode even if the rewards aren't that good. Example, I know people that just grind for 1 hour because they cannot grind anymore. They are done with it. But I also know that same guy that can be on Arena for 5+ hours. Make us have better choices of gear progression, but don't actually make it able to swap from grinding life skilling to those game modes. Game modes are generally to make you have fun in the game, not to make huge progression out of it. Also, I don't think there will be people that will just play that game mode even if it's equal to grinding, because there are people in this game that just like to grind. True! Reslard still doesn't believe it to this day, but there are some of us out there that actually just enjoy killing mobs. I know people that only thing they do on this game is grinding because they legit like it. We're a weird people, but we do exist.
Listen, I'm not saying necessarily don't exist. I'm just saying you're psychopaths and you shouldn't be counted in the populace. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
That's fair. That's
just like how
fair.
we don't allow like convicts to vote or whatever, you know, like convicted felons. You know, it's the same thing.
Lucas Franco says, in regards to Suckwiz add-ons, I wouldn't say it is a nerf, but in my opinion, it is in disadvantage compared to other classes. We only have one tier 3 on a 30-second cooldown. I wish they could just make it equal for every class. For example, having X amount of skills for tier 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I almost just feel like they should just remove tier 1 and 3 and just make everything tier 2, to be honest. That'd probably be the most fair thing they could do.
I did want to say, by the way, with that last comment, rip Shadow Arena, man. I really wish they hadn't removed that from the game, because that was like such a fun little thing to do with your friends every now and then.
Yeah.
I really do wish that they wouldn't have like removed it entirely, and that they just kind of like nerfed it so that it wasn't literally the most insane money in the game.
Like the chat's like, yeah, but that skill is meteor. Cameron Zukov says they nerfed the flying fuck out of Sorcerer's Sustain thanks to the add-on changes, specifically the reduced amount of multi-proc AoE scaling, quite drastically in PvE and PvP. I don't know how you could possibly feel that way. It literally got buffed by a massive amount. You can put, first of all, the HP sustain on the add-ons are way better than before. The old ones gave you back 3 to 5 HP per hit. It was like nothing. And now even on a tier 1, it's like 10 or 20 or whatever, or 15 on tier 2. It's like so much. I don't know how you could feel that way. And then you can put, instead of having mana recovery on Dream of Doom, you just put it on Violation. And you get all of your mana back even when Violation is on cooldown every single time you use it. So they definitely buffed the sustain. You just have to you just put it on different abilities now. It's not worse. Yeah, I'm sorry, Cameron. I just think you're flat out wrong on that. I don't even see how you could feel that way with the way it got changed. It's like so much easier to get mana and HP back now. That I'm upset for you being upset. You've made me upset. Now I'm mad. Alba Visage Sai says maybe Escape could get a 3-second cooldown and a PvE DR buff. That's who I stole that idea from. He's the one who said it, so thank you, Alba Visage. A PvE DR buff during those few seconds, and lots of PvE specific buffs in the game should be doable. And then, is that Archer outfit a pilgrim outfit for Thanksgiving? Never mind, you guys said as much right after I edited. Yeah. I think that would be fine. Because that's the fear is like if you put a channel or a timer is that you're going to die during it. So just give some monster DR for those 3 to 5 seconds. And then that's it. Then you're good to go. You don't die. Daz says, regarding the Thorntree Castle reward, I feel like doing something that the Pit of Undying does would be the best way to go. Get a certain amount of currency that you can exchange for various things instead of it just giving you silver that ends up inflating the market even more. The way more people would be willing to participate, or that way more people would be willing to participate because that they would get whatever they would want, whether it would be crow coins, cronstones, shard bundles, spirit dust, fail stacks, or maybe even RNG accessory box. That's not a bad idea. I think they're going with the RNG box. I just don't know what's in it. And I don't know if that's the only thing you get. We just know for sure you get a box for losing and a box for winning. We don't know if you get anything else or not. Honestly, give 30 minutes, an hour, and after 2050/100 wins a reward, like a 20 stack Caphras bundle, boss gear box, and a loss, you just get 1 out of 3 or 1/3 of a win token or something. Also, Gildy lost 2 Elcars and Nahum in the first 2 minutes of Angry Neuver, but he got the base box, so worth. Is that worth? Oh no!
Yeah.
They traded basically, what, 700 mil for 100 mil box. Oh,
yeah,
dude.
that's rough. Yeah, I think something like that would work. That's essentially what they did with BSA, right? The Black Spirit board game, is they made it where like the more times you finish, you get better rewards, right? You get like different rewards, and then also you still get something if you don't complete it. Is the thing. So in BSA, it's specifically you get something that will help you complete it later on, which is really nice.
Oh, here we go. Sorry. Someone pointed out you could see what the rewards are from the bundle if you click it. So I don't know if you get all or any or how many. There's no quantity of this stuff, but apparently it can give you armor, weapon stones, cron stones, golden backpack, golden dagger, ancient spirit dust, hunter seals, and memory fragments. So it's, I mean,
if the Caphras and dust is pretty good.
Can you imagine if you only get one of these things?
Yeah, that would be rough.
I didn't even
Hunter
realize
seals is really. I don't like hunter seals. Not like generally. I don't like them as a reward here. I actually do like. I think it was your idea to give like Dark Spirit Greed.
Yeah. Well, that's another one where you get to kind of choose your reward, which is cool.
Yeah, I don't really like the hunter seals because if you're already getting blackstones, why are you getting hunter seals? It's just weird.
I can't remember what you can get other stuff with hunter seals now, right? Or maybe it's just like reform stones.
No, I think it's just. Do I have any on me? Let's see.
I don't think.
Yeah, it's just reform stones.
Yeah.
And it's not even the ultimates. It's just grade 3s.
Dude, you'll love hunter seals once you have them. Just wait. Hey guys, thanks for the real talk on Shy last week. I think a lot of us are still hanging in there for the next patch. Oh no.
Oh no.
Shy just needs to have a direction that is logical and presentable in game through clear design. Also, they need to drastically up the character level EXP bonus provided by gathering and alchemy because 300% is not cutting it. Yeah, I don't know, man. The tag system, I would reroll. That's all I'm saying. Shy is a weird. I don't know how you can main Shy, honestly. I think it's a cool alt, and you could bring it to war sometimes, and it'll actually benefit your team. But just being on a Shy always just feels so awful to me.
Unless you're on T1s. I keep seeing these poor Shies try and go on T1s, and it is just rough.
Yeah. The Spoon Elite says, I think Frosty nailed it regarding the rewards for Castle. I'd like to see slightly higher numbers, maybe 50 mil for a loss, 80 mil for a win average. Chuck us some Caphras, Cronstones, and an RNG box. Top out at 120 mil if you're super carried on your rolls, and I'd be very happy. Well, it's only 30 minutes, so if you could get up to 120 mil every 30 minutes, it would be kind of insane.
Yeah, but 240 mil an hour is kind of nutty.
Yeah, you got to think, to make like 100 mil plus an hour, you basically need a loot scroll if you're low gear. If you're high gear, I guess you could kind of do it without a loot scroll, but you've already invested so much in gear. I don't know. I don't know. It's not out on KR yet, I don't think. No, KR didn't get it yet, but when they do, hopefully we can watch a video and see how good the actual rewards are. I don't know if it's subject to change from what's on Global Apps, but we'll see. Cosmic Jellybean Frosty's my BDO father. Heart Hex, this new mode is something that's in just about every KR game from DK to Ion. Most of them are really fun. I hope it's done well here. What's DK? Oh, Dark Camelot. Right?
Probably.
Or is that with a C? It's DK if it's not Dark Age of Camelot.
I couldn't tell you.
All right, and someone says DFG KCVB ZZX VOZ XVU Reslar. What does that mean?
What?
Chibaneko says a bunch of letters and said that you said it. I think it's when you made it. I think you made a loud sound effect last week because you were angry, and it was just like. I think you did something like that.
Oh, yeah. That was whenever. Yeah, I think that was when my when I died within 0.1 seconds of popping V because desync.
He got electrocuted. You vanitized remindings. Yeah, that's what it was. You sounded like you got electrocuted. Oh my god. Adele Manette says, why wouldn't they just create all bosses summoning scroll and drop items on their respective areas? Like combining all scrolls create the all boss scroll. In this way, there would be less competition on grinding areas, or they could make Thorn Castle like an infinite dungeon which players must survive for as long as they can. All boss summoning scrolls. What is that in reference to?
I'm not sure. The idea of making it like a survival thing is interesting, though. But
well, they
I
need
don't
to
know,
just
then you
remake.
kind of lose the PvP aspect of it, then, which is kind of one of the cooler parts about it, I think.
Yeah.
'Cause otherwise, you're just grinding mobs. I think Altar of Blood already has kind of that survival like aspect, and people aren't really. Nobody fucking does it, so.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I want it how it is because I think it's going to be pretty decent. I think an unlimited like a survival mode is what Savage Rift needs to be turned into. Actually, that could be kind of fun. And you even if they did it like Diablo, where you get to kind of choose your difficulty and it just gets harder and harder from there. I think it would be actually nice. Like what they did with Altar of Blood, except not all this waiting period and make it a little bit more randomized and make it just like non-stop action. I think could be kind of fun.
Also, make it... You know what one of my biggest issues with Altar of Blood is? That I really do wish that they would change, because I think it would make a lot of a difference in Altar of Blood. Again, going more in the direction of like the survival thing... Instead of having to defend a crystal, just make the mobs fucking murder you.
Yeah. That's what I think too. Just get rid of the tower in the middle and the mobs are spawning just to kill you. I think that would actually be a lot more fun.
And that would lean a lot more into the whole survival like part that like you kind of have, but I don't know.
Dude, and you could even do like with the area, because you know it's like that big kind of circle arena. You could even do like stuff like Mario Brothers does, where you just randomly a spike will come out of the ground. You got to avoid the spikes at different times, and like the roof like caves in on one side, and if you're in there, you're smashed and you die. Like they could just make. There's so many ways to make it fun that really are not that complicated, instead of what they did. I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel like whenever I don't know. Whenever it's like you're defending the crystal, right? Which, like, I get that what people complained about was, why do we have to use muskets in Savage Rift? So they literally took Savage Rift, took away the muskets, boom, Altar of Blood. So I get that that's literally what they were going for, is what we have. But I think that if you want to make it, nobody plays it now, and I think if you want to make it playable, yeah, you got to lean more heavily into the survival aspect of it, because essentially, as it is now, it's just a fucking DPS check, which is kind of lame. Like, it's literally just a DPS check. That's all it is. Which, like, in raids and stuff, like, DPS checks are good whenever it's not the whole fucking raid.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like, you can still have the DPS check aspect of it somewhere in there, but when it's the whole game mode is just a DPS check, I don't know, it's kind of whatever.
I want to do a quick... That was the last comment, but I want to do an honorable mention for consoles real quick, because people are actually getting their PS5s and their Xbox Series X's this last few days and going forward. And I talked to a couple people that main console, and they're saying that it is legit night and day difference playing on the new generation versus the old ones in BDA.
Oh, really?
So I had, Lord of Warfare. So
yeah.
I was talking to him, and he was saying that he legit can get 60 FPS consistently, like everywhere now. Now this is before he tried Node War, so I haven't heard him talk about Node War, but the rest of the game he's able to get 60 FPS on console, which is, even though on us on PC feel like that's okay, 60 is still not that good, but 60 compared to 30, especially when 30 was already spiking down, is huge. Like that is huge. I don't know. So I just want to say congratulations to console. Maybe your career there is kind of saved, because I know they were losing hope for a while, because that shit's frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think overall, I mean, the consoles have better CPUs, GPUs, better hard drives, more RAM, probably faster RAM. So it's just an upgrade all around. So yeah, that shit's kind of cool. If you play console and you were wondering if it's going to be an upgrade, I've talked to more than one person that said it is a massive difference. Butters is another one. Butters said that it's like huge difference. So yeah, some people with TVs with higher frame rate were saying that they're actually able to get more than 60. So I don't know. I haven't gotten to confirm that, but I was told by Lord that he has friends that were saying that some people are getting higher than 60 FPS. So I guess we'll see what happens,
Maybe Warrior is finally viable.
Warrior is finally viable. Yeah, maybe. What do you think of the new consoles? Do you have any interest, or are you just not a console person at all?
Oh no, I don't do the whole console thing anymore.
I was watching a review about the PlayStation 5, and one of the things that was interesting to me is the controller. So I guess what they do with the controller now is it has haptic feedback in multiple parts of the controller. So instead of just like the whole controller rumbling when things are happening, like individual buttons can rumble, and they have like a bunch of different types of like rumbles and vibrations and stuff that like are supposed to make you feel like whatever you're interacting with is what's happening like in your hands. And this person said that it's like so intricate that when you're interacting with metal, the controller will feel stiff, like as if you were interacting with metal, or when you interact with sand, that it'll actually like feel like you're interacting with sand. I don't know how that works, but that's how they described it. And
I think I'm gonna press X to doubt on that.
Well, I kind of I trust the guy who was talking about it in his review, because I watch a lot of the reviews that he does, and so I think the point he was making is that it does a really good job of interacting. One of the specific examples that he gave is in one of the NBA games, you have to hold the right trigger button to sprint, right? And when you get into like the third and the fourth quarter of games, if you're on a player that has the basketball and they've played a lot of minutes in that game, the sprint button gets stiff, so it's harder to sprint with him. So you literally like can't push it down all the way. Like it physically stiffens, which is actually kind of cool. Like that's kind of a cool like dynamic. So I don't know, but he was saying one of the games that's not even a good game. It's like a Mario game. I forget the name of it, but PlayStation 5 has some game that's basically like a demo. It just has like, it's like a Mario Brothers. You go through the world. It's really basic, but that it's hyper interactive with the controller. So you could feel all the different stuff that the controller could do. And I just thought it was kind of interesting. Like kind of a cool idea. Also, controller has speakers on it that apparently are pretty good, and a microphone with noise cancellation. So if you don't want to wear a headset, you can literally use voice chat just through the controller, which I think is also kind of cool. I know you're not much of a console guy, but some of the innovations are kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think the only reason I would want to buy a console these days is to play like console exclusive games.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's to me, and I know like there's a whole thing with like, well, gaming on a console is just so much more casual. Whatever. Yeah, sure, have your opinion. To me, it's like the only reason to own a console is for the console exclusive games. But at the same time, I have a problem with console exclusive games because it's kind of like a scumbag, like, fucking marketing tactic to me. So at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to support these people that are doing like these fucking scumbag things in order to like make more money. So I don't know.
What about games that feel like actually feel good on a controller, like Smash Brothers or Mario and stuff? Because I feel like games like that, like I love games like that, and I feel like both those games feel weird on keyboard and mouse. Like whenever I've used emulators, I actually prefer controller for stuff like that.
But see, like the thing is when people talk about that, it's like you can just plug a controller into your PC.
Well, yeah. For sure.
That's always been the most confusing thing about that argument to me whenever people... And, to be clear, because I'm about to say the dreaded words, if you like console and you don't like PC, go for it, man. If you don't like console and you like PC, go for it. I really don't give a shit either way. Use your money however you want to use your money. But in the whole, PC versus console argument, the controller one was always the most confusing to me, because it's well, I don't like to use a mouse and keyboard. On most games, you can just plug in a controller into your computer.
True.
And then just use that.
hey, cost of entry is a thing, though.
It is, absolutely.
Consoles are relatively cheap for what you get.
There's pros and cons to each of them, for sure. 100%. There's no, one obvious option, because if there was, then the other option would be out of business. So... it's really just personal preference.
Right. True. Anyway, that all having been said, I don't know, for you can get a decent PC for $500, but you can't really get a decent PC and peripherals and a monitor for $500. I feel like.
Yeah.
Maybe used, but it'd be hard. Who knows? Yeah, so moving on. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. That is the end of the podcast. You want to close this out, Reslar? Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Or are we good?
No, I think that... Well, since you said that the songs are pretty much done, we're going to be... I know I've said this before, but we're going to be looking to make the new intro soon. I'm going to put a post in Discord as this as well, but I'll also talk about it here. I mentioned that I wanted to do this for the new intro. I would like everybody to send me or Frosty, but preferably me, your favorite moments from either the podcast or each of our streams for each one of us. So your favorite moment that you've laughed at or whatever with Frosty either on his stream or on the podcast, Nyashi, myself, all three of us, because with the intro we have now. I literally just was like, fuck it, yeah, that works. And then I just took it from yours was the BSL, because I was just like, yeah, that was a pretty funny clip or whatever. And then from mine, it was just because I had just made that video 2 days before that. So I was like, yeah, I'll just take that from that. That's really easy. So I really want the new intro to have moments that you guys, the listeners, you thought were funny or whatever, either again from the podcast or from individual streams. I don't give a shit. Take it from wherever you want to take it from, but send me your favorite moments with each one of us so that we can kind of comb through them and pick out which ones we want to use for the intro, basically, because I'm going to be starting on that relatively soon once you guys start sending in some moments that you thought were funny, and we figure out the song and all that. So I'm gonna make a post in Discord, but just PM it to me. Literally, just PM it to me in Discord. If you're in the Discord, you're able to message me. So just right-click message, send me your favorite moment. So make sure to do that. Join the Discord. It's the only place where you can get updates on the show and all that shit. So do that. Thanks again to all the people on Patreon. Shout out to Nyashi. Unfortunately, he couldn't join us today. Woman Aggro. He should be with us next week to talk about all of the cool new things. We're gonna have a lot of shit to talk about next week. So make sure you tune in next week. Turn in XD. Check out the streams. Twitch.tv/SoFrosty. Not Reslar and Nyashi _NA. And yeah, guys, thanks for listening. Catch you next week.